Funky Pizzeria was required to supply pizzas to 3 different parties. The total number of pizzas it had to deliver was 800. 70% of which was to be delivered to party 3, and the rest equally divided between party 1 and 2. Pizzas could be of thin crust or deep dish and come in either normal cheese or extra cheese versions. Hence, there are 4 types of pizzas: TNC, TEC, DNC, and DEC. And wonderful. So he has ripped this 800 apart into 3 parties and into 4 different classifications. And so in all of these DILR type sessions, we don't even know whether they are considering this as data interpretation or logical reasoning. This is a heavy duty math based puzzle. You're going to do a lot of ratio of percentages and solving and getting numbers in, and then going on to solving and getting the answers. And so this is not even a puzzle, more math than anything else. And so if you look at the numbers, saying out of 800, 70% was party 3, 70% of 800, 560, right? And the remaining 2 equally, that will be so 120, 120. So 800 minus 560 is 240, 120, 120 each for party 1 and 2. And so these fractions, these decimals are interesting. So 0.6, 0.55, 0.3, 0.65, 0.375, 0.52. And so these are all fractions of the overall numbers. Remember, there are 2 different classifications. And so thin crust and deep dish is one classification. Normal cheese and extra cheese is another classification. What you've been given as thin crust, the remaining will be deep dish. The most important of these numbers for me is 0.375. And 0.375 into 800 is vague. It's tough to calculate. 0.375 as a fraction. What is 0.375 as a fraction? What is 0.125 as a fraction? 0.5 as a fraction? 1 by 2. 0.25? 1 by 4. 0.125? 1 by 8. 0.375? 0.125 is 1 by 8. 3 by 8. 3 times that. So you'll have to get really comfortable with decimals, fractions, and percentages. And there's quite some way to go. We've obviously not done that level of practice sitting now. There's a long way to the exam. But when you're doing these sets, if you can look at that 0.375 and your mind thinks, oh, 3 by 8, 300. So the total number there for thin crust is 300. So you should read that 0.375 and go, look, 300, I've got this. So non-thin crust, just deep dish is 500 remaining. And so if you can think of numbers in terms of decimals, fractions, and percentages kind of seamlessly, life becomes incredibly easier. You can think of that 0.375 and go 300. 3/8 of 800. Therefore 300. If you can make that connection, then this grid kind of fills itself that little bit easier. And in all of these puzzle type of thing, it's very important to get the overall picture. 3 parties, 1, 2, and 3, 120, 120, 560. In each of these 3 parties, we have thin crust and deep dish. We have to get those numbers. We have normal cheese and extra cheese. We have to get those numbers. But if you get all these data points, you can. This question is going to be a breeze. And so I'm going to work towards that. These are the questions. We'll come to the questions right at the end after getting some amount of detail in. Some numbers in place. 70% of 800 is 560. Remaining is split equally 120, 120. And that we have got. 0.6 is 3 by 5. 0.55 is 11 by 20. 0.3 is 3 by 10. These are regular fractions. The most interesting of these fractions is 0.375, which is 3 by 8. And so now I'm going to create this grid. And so I'm going to basically take all of this data given and put it into 2 tables. I'm going to say thin crust and deep dish, normal and extra cheese. The total party 1, party 2, party 3, and total overall numbers we know, but we're going to classify and fill in numbers for each of these classifications. Right? So how do we do that? We're told that thin crust is 0.6, 0.6 of 120. We know that. 0.6 of 120. What is 0.6 of 120? 0.6 into 120. 72. Remaining should be out of 120, 72, 48. 0.55 of 120. What is 0.5 of 120? 60. 60 plus 6. This will be 66. This will be. This number we've already got 300. So we can get this. This number remaining therefore should be 500. Therefore we can get this. So this side we fill completely. So it's thin crust and deep dish. This side, normal cheese and extra cheese, We know this is 0.3 of 120, which is 0.3 times 120, 36. 3 by 10 into 120, 36. Remaining is 120 minus 36, 84. 0.65 of 560, that's tougher to find out. So that's 13 520 into 560. Or 13 into 28, whatever that turns out to be. And so that goes here. 0.52 into 800, 52 into 8, whatever that is, that goes here. Once we know these three numbers, we can find this number. Once we know this number, we can find this. We know these three, we can find these three. So now we know that the whole grid can be filled. So this is 72, 66, going step by step based on whatever we know. This we don't know, 36, 364, 416. 364 plus 36 is 400. 416 totally, remaining should be 16. This is 416, remaining is 384. 196 plus 84, remaining goes here. The other way of thinking about this number should be 120 minus 16. Total party 1 is 120, out of which 16 is normal cheese. The remaining should be extra cheese, that is 104. So 104 plus 84 plus 196 should add up to 384. It doesn't, something wrong with the numbers, we go back and fix it again. And so once you've got this whole grid, all numbers filled in, we know this is 48, this is 54, this is 300 minus 72 minus 66 here, this is 500 minus 48 minus 54 here. Once you've got this whole grid filled in and this whole grid filled in, then solving the rest of it becomes easier. So this is a puzzle, but this is very much a mathematical puzzle. All you need to do is work fractions and decimals, nothing more than that. Once you fill the entire grid, this becomes very simple. And so we've got all numbers here. We know party 1 thin crust, party 1 deep dish, party 2, party 3, and normal cheese and extra cheese for all three parties, and overall numbers. So you've got the entire data set on a platter, and you need to be, this is a math question, just 4 math questions masquerading as a DILR set. If you know your percentages and your decimals and fraction, we're just writing this straight away. There's nothing here. Okay? So how many thin crust pizzas were delivered to party 3? Party 3, thin crust, 162. Done. Straightforward. Once you've got the whole grid, all we are doing is writing down the answer. Nothing more than that. How many normal cheese pizzas were required to be delivered to party 1? Party 1, normal cheese pizzas. Once you've got those two tables, these two questions kind of answer themselves. All you need to do is look at the question, write down the answer. Nothing to solve. Practically nothing to solve. Right? It gets trickier after that. One feature that we saw in almost all the DILR set, the two questions were straightforward. You got it from just filling the grid. And then for the two more, you had to do something a little bit extra, something more than that. So we had to go back and push that there. So let's see what that something extra is, what this question asks for. For party 2, if 50% of the normal cheese pizzas were of thin crust variety, what is the difference between thin crust extra cheese and deep dish extra cheese? So 50% of normal cheese were of thin crust variety. So let's look at this. This is party 2. 50% of normal cheese pizzas were of thin crust variety. 50% of 36 were thin crust. So 18 were thin crust. And remaining 18 were deep dish. Right? So out of this 66, 18 were normal cheese, remaining were extra cheese. Out of this 54, 18 were normal cheese, remaining were extra cheese. So think of what you're doing here. We take the normal cheese data, we have broken that into thin crust and deep dish, and then we go to thin crust and deep dish and break that down into normal cheese and extra cheese. And so we know that 36 normal cheese pizzas are available, of which 18 are thin crust and 18 are deep dish. Now we go to the thin crust number, and we know of that 18 are normal cheese, the remaining are extra cheese. Of this 54, 18 are normal cheese, the remaining are extra cheese. The question asks us, what is the difference between the number of thin crust extra cheese and deep dish extra cheese? Thin crust, there are 66 totally. So extra cheese will be 66 minus 18, which is 48. Here 54 totally, 54 minus 18 is 36. So we have thin crust extra cheese to be 48, deep dish extra cheese to be 36. The difference between these two is 12. That's the answer you're looking for. And so wonderful question. Nothing puzzle solving about it. It's pure mathematics, nothing else. Find the path we are following here. 50% of 36 is thin crust. Remaining is deep dish. So 18 thin crust and 18 deep dish. So we go back to thin crust, and then within that we classify it as normal cheese and extra cheese. We go to deep dish and then break it as normal cheese and extra cheese. So we find normal cheese thin crust, extra cheese thin crust and extra cheese deep dish, and then find this difference. Lot of computation, but nothing dramatic. You need to go step by step and find each number, one number at a time, and plug this in. It's a classic percentages, fractions, decimal question. There's nothing data interpretation wise or logical reasoning wise here. We're not solving a puzzle. We found that grid and then we're plugging in numbers and getting the answer. Let's go to the last one. Suppose that a thin crust normal cheese pizza costs as much as deep dish normal cheese, but 3/5 of the price of a DEC. A DEC pizza costs 50 rupees more than a TEC, and the latter costs rupees 500. So I'm going to start with a number here. The TEC cost rupees 500. I don't even recall the numbers or the percentages given. The terminology is very weak, very vague. But I know TEC cost 500. Let's start with that. That's where the number is given. How much does a DEC cost? $550, 50 rupees more than TEC. Now your DNC costs 3/5 of DEC, which will be 330. This is 3 by 5 into 550. And then TNC, this again is 330. That's cost the same as DNC. So 500, 550, 330, 330. Those are the numbers that we're dealing with. And so we know the price of all 4 categories of pizzas. Next up, 25% of normal cheese pizzas delivered to party 1 pair of deep dish. What is the total bill for party 1? We know we can find the bill. We find the exact number of pizzas in each of these categories. And so 25% of normal cheese were of deep dish categories. So let's go back to the number. We're looking at party 1. We're looking at 25% of normal cheese pizzas were of deep dish variety. So 25% of normal cheese, this is 4. 25% of 16, 1/4 of 16. That is 4 were of deep dish category. Remaining 12 would have been thin crust. And so 25% of normal cheese pizzas were of deep dish. Remaining 12 are thin crust. So out of these 48, 4 are normal cheese. So remaining 44 should be extra cheese. Out of this 72, 12 are normal cheese. Remaining 60 should be extra cheese. Now we have all 4 categories. We can find thin crust extra cheese, thin crust normal cheese, deep dish extra cheese, deep dish normal cheese. All 4 we can find exact number of quantities delivered. And we know the exact prices. Multiply these, add them up, you get the answer. Now all of these questions, it's very important to crack the method and then go to the computation part. Because for the computation part, you're going to be handed a calculator on a platter. And so the multiplying part is taken care of. Right? You still need to be comfortable with your 25% and 20% and your 0.375. Only then you get a sense of where the numbers are. You still need to have an intuitive sense of numbers. That's very vital. And there's no negotiating, there's no bargaining with you. Have to know that chunk, right? But the hardcore computation part to get to the answer, that you don't need to worry about. You're being given a calculator. So let's write down these numbers. I'm not going to do the actual multiplication. Thin crust extra cheese is 60. Thin crust normal cheese is 12. Deep dish extra cheese is 44. Deep dish normal cheese is 4. We know all 4 prices. We know all 4 quantities. Multiply, get that, and you get the final answer. I'm not going to do that part. That part is simple enough. And so these are classic questions in percentages, fractions, and decimals. to some extent, you get these kind of questions in ratio proportions as well, as far as your quant is concerned. It's effectively 4 quant questions masquerading as a puzzle. Right? So quite a few of the DILR puzzles that have been given last year are heavily mathematical. And so for which using the calculator part is useful. But if you know even this question, you're using the calculator only for the last step. Otherwise, multiplying by your 0.3, 0.6 and finding a 0.375, you cannot afford to go back to the calculator for that. One is you're typing in and getting the detail. That's an issue. Two, your sense of what this number is disappears. You can think of that 0.375 as 3 by 8. You're putting the total as 300, remaining is 500. You're able to imagine 800 as 300 and 500 of these two categories. Then that gives you a sense of the overall picture and how it is broken. That's very important. If you have to type in 0.375 into 800 and then compute that number and then do 800 minus 300 and find the other number, your intuitive sense of where the numbers are going becomes very tricky. And if that is not there, filling these two tables becomes very tough. This question completely rests on how are you going to fill these two tables. And so party 1, party 2, party 3, thin crust and deep dish, normal cheese, extra cheese. I get this detail completely in. Then I can do every other variant from there simply enough. And so it's a very challenging set. In terms of the benchmark, in terms of speed, how quickly you should do this, how well you should compute to do this. There were 8 sets in the exam in a given time frame of about 1 hour. If you had got 16 questions, you've got 99.5 plus percentile. 99.6, 99.7, that's what you're looking at. You get 16 questions right, that is 4 sets. If you take about 15, 16 minutes to a set, get 4 sets, get all of them right, you're going to be in the top 0.3 percentile of people who are taking this exam. So that's the benchmark you're looking at. If you get 10, 11 questions right, you're still close to 98, 97 percentile. Again, the top 2% of people taking this exam. To do 10, 11 or 12 questions right, you're looking at 3 sets. That means you can take 20 minutes to a set and then finish it off. You notice we have taken about 15, 16 minutes to this set. That's partly because we're discussing and solving this and articulating it. If you've done this on your own, done this methodically, this is very crackable in a 12, 13 minute time frame. Maybe 15, 16, but not more than that. So if you locate this correctly and do it methodically and get it right, this is gold. You do 3 sets like this, you're looking at 97, 98%. And so DILR was tough, but it's not so impossibly tough that you cannot do anything in this. This set with very little background in DILR practice or in math, you could have gone about it slowly, methodically and gotten it right. What is important is to have the confidence and belief and do it methodically. What is also important is to have that edge where you say, look, 0.3753 by 8, I'm going bam, bam, bam. If you've not done gazillion questions in practice, one, you don't have that edge to do a 0.6 into 120, write it down as 72. You will want a calculator or you will want to be very sure about it and verify and multiply, you're in trouble. 0.6 into 120 is 72. You shouldn't have to compute it. 0.375 is 3 by 8. Of 800 is 300. You have to write it, not figure it out. So do lots and lots and lots of questions in order to get that part automatically in. If you're sitting and solving and figuring out for that, you get murdered. This last bit where you have to multiply those two numbers and get to the total, that is fine. But otherwise, you can't stop and pause and think. So do lots and lots and lots of practice in pure math and pure solving part in order to automate some part of these processes. That is very vital. That's where the practice backbone comes into play. One is you have to calculate all of that. It takes time. Two is it takes energy. You get drained out. You're not confident of your multiplication. One of those numbers, instead of 0.72, you've written 0.75. And then you do 2 more steps. You get that one of these has to be 50% of 75. That's 37.5 pizzas. You're worried. And so you go back and do everything. You realize that mistake, plug it. You're 6 minutes down and you're panicking. And so doing the drill is very vital, not just for saving time, but for being confident about the way you multiply and divide your numbers. That's very vital. So do lots and lots of practice just to fill that gap. There were 7 elective courses, E1 to E7, running in a specific term in a college. Each of the 300 students enrolled had chosen just one elective from among these 7. However, before the start of the term, E7 was withdrawn as the instructor concerned had left the college. The students who had opted for E7 were allowed to join any of the remaining electives. Also, the students who had chosen other electives were given one chance to change their choice. The table below captures the movement of the students from one elective to another during this process. Movement from one elective to the same elective simply means no movement. From E1 to E1 means the student has not changed his elective. Some numbers in the table got accidentally erased. However, it is known that these were either 0 or 1. Brilliant. That's a very useful clue. And so some numbers got erased. They're going to be either 0 or 1. And quick recap of facts, 300 students. Each student has chosen only one elective among the 7. So if we added the total number of students which selected E1 to E7, it should add up to 300. Either initially or finally, it doesn't matter. It should add up to 300. E7 finally is going to go to 0. Nobody is going to select E7 because they're all going to shift out. E7 is not even being offered. So E1 to E6 are only going to exist. This table is going to give us some data about where students went from E1 to E3, E3 to E4, E4 to E5, E7 to E1. That is going to be captured on this table. Further, the following are known. Before the change process, there were 6 more students in E1 than in E4. But after the reshuffle, the number of students in E4 was 3 more than that in E1. Originally, there were 6 more in E1 than in E4. After the reshuffle, E4 was 3 more than E1. The number of students in E2 increased by 30 after the change process. E2 became an in-demand course. From E7, people are probably jumping to E2, or from everywhere they were jumping to E2. Before the change process, E4 had 2 more students than E6, while E2 had 10 more students than E3. And so, bunch of facts. I don't know which ones will start from, what is going to be the most interesting to pick. So when you're given constraints like this, take them in, but don't try to retain everything. The theme is important, and then the data set is important. And then we make our head, wrap our head around how the data is presented. We just say, look, okay, this is what this means. This is what the sums and differences, that's what they mean. This is what they're trying to convey with this style of data presentation. Completely get a set. If you don't get a set, there's no point reading through these constraints. If you don't know what that table means exactly, then there's no point reading these constraints. So because constraint number 1, 2, 3, I don't know what is most important. I don't even understand how this is going to be used. I'm basically saying I'm going to keep this aside for later. And the most critical aspect in DILR is your sequencing of the constraints. What nugget am I going to use first? What does this mean? What is conveyed here? There is a story, there's a table, and then there are constraints. I need to link the table to the story. I need to understand what the table says, right? So I'm going to spend some time understanding this. And so thankfully it says from here to here. And so from E1 to E1 is 9. Or 9 students stuck with E1. They stayed with E1. From E1 to E2, 5 students went to E2 from E1. 10 students went to E3 from E1. 1 went to E4 from E1. 4 went to E5. 2 went to E6. There's no E7 here because E7 is gone. E7 has been removed. So if you look at it column wise, 9 people stayed in E1. 2 came from E3 to E1. 4 came from E7 to E1. We don't know the numbers sitting here. We don't know them. We don't know these. Right? So, critical points here is think about what is meant by sum of all elements here. What is meant by sum of all elements here? Take some time, think about that. We need to understand the presented data. We need to figure out what insights, what inferences we can draw straight away. If you wrap your head around the data presented, then these sets become very simple. So spend some time thinking about this. And so all of these numbers, 9, 34, 25, 14, 9, these are all numbers retained. These many people stayed with that. So 9 people had E6, they continued to have E6. They did not shift out of their elective. Totally, there are 300 students. That's a very interesting data point. Now, make sense of this. From this, what are the best inferences that we can draw? What can we take home and build on? Very vital to do that. Right? So, bunch of cells are empty. That's also interesting. So, number of empty cells, we go column wise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing empty here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So these many empty cells are there. Important nugget. Now let's go to the question. How many elective courses among E1 to E6 had a decrease in their enrollment after the change process? Basically, now it's like fill the data grid and then we are through. So one part which is interesting here. So this is the final data point. We're going to the solution part. I'm not going to discuss this. I'm going to give you some time and then we'll discuss it. So I've elaborately discussed this, described this whole data set. We've seen this story and then we've tried to wrap our head around this table. I'm going to say what is useful. I'm going to say complete rows and complete columns mean something. Figure out what these mean and draw your inferences from those. This row has everything filled in. That means something. This column has everything filled in. That means something. Those are very good starting points to think about how they can be used. What do they mean? So figure that out. I've helped you out here, filled in some, added an extra column and an extra row. And so I've said, I'm going to capture all the sums here and all the sums here, the total here. So 9 plus 5, 14, 24, 25, 29, 31. That works. 34 plus 8, 42, 44, 46. That works. 2 plus 6, 8, 8 plus 25, 33, 35. That works. 3 plus 2, 5, 19, 23. Works. 5 plus 30, 35. This works. 7 plus 3, 10. 10 plus 2, 12. Plus 9, 21. This works. 4 plus 16, 20. Plus 30, 50. 55, 60, 101. This works. We've added these column wise also. 9 plus 2, 11 plus 4, 15. 39, 45, 48, 53, 60, 76. 30, 33, 35, 60, 70, 78. 1, 15, 20. 4, 2, 6, 36, 38, 43. 6, 10, 19, 60. All these numbers work. Right? Remember, of these, this number we can be sure of. This is 31. This number we can be sure of. This is 76. This 15 we cannot be sure of. This total need not be 15 because there are empty cells here. But this could be 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. Likewise, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1, 0 or 1. So because there's something dicey, something incomplete here, we cannot say this total is 78. This total is 78 or 79. This total is 20 or 21 or 22 or 23 or 24. So each of these could be 0 or 1. This total is 43 or 44 or 45. This one is 60 or 61. So how many of these are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 of these 0/1s are there. We add all of these number 1 plus 6, 7, 12, 15, 20, 21, 22, 2, carry over 2, 5, 9, 12, 14, 17, 19, plus 10, 29. So this table gives us information about 292 of the students. So the missing cells account for the remaining 8. And so zeros or ones add up to give us a remaining 8 more. And this whole puzzle, this whole shebang is going to rest on which ones of those are 0, which ones of those are 1. That's it. Nothing more than that. The key to wrap your head around what is happening here. The totals are given, we filled in the data points. Now let us go to the constraints and see if we can make sense of those. And to start with, there are 31 students who originally had elective E1. There are 76 students who ended up with elective E2. And so any constraint where E1 original is given or E2 final is given, I love those. I want to start with those, because if you're told that E1 originally had X number of students less than E2 originally or E4 originally, then one of those pieces of the jigsaw I know. The remaining I'll have to crack. And so E1 original or E2 final, that data point is given, we want to attack those two. Finally, this 292 is a big giveaway. So we still have got to account for 8 more. We need to get to 300. So we need information about 8 more students. Or of these cells, 8 of these are ones, remaining are zeros. We have 8 ones and 4 zeros totally. That's how the total will add up to 300. Fine. So we're looking for constraints which had the number of students that were there in E1 originally or the number of students that were there in E2 finally. And we're going to fill in this data set methodically from there. And so let's look at the constraint. So E1, there are 31 students. E3, there are 35. E2, there are 46. But this 46, 35, 23, we're not sure about. It could be 46 or 47 or 48, depending on how we are accounting for them. Right? So, but E1 we know originally and E2 finally we know. So let's look for constraints that have E1 originally in them or E2 finally in them. Right? So the first constraint, before the change process, there were 6 more students in E1 than E4. In E1, there were 31. So E4 should have been 25. Remember, E4 had 23 and 2 empty cells, or these 2 empty cells should be 1. There's 2 cells out of 12 we filled in directly. And so E1 has 6 more students than E4 originally. E1 had 31 totally. This we are confident of. That means this number should be 25. So 25. It was 23 originally with 2 empty cells. Both of those empty cells should be 1. So we filled in 2 cells. Super. Out of 12, we've already filled in 2. Let's build this further. Let's look at some other constraint. Before the change process, E4 had 2 more than E6. E4 had 25. 2 more than E6. E6 has 21. 2 more than E6 are, this should be 1. This should be 1. This will change this total. This will change this total. We've not accounted for that. We'll come to that. I'm just filling in the ones. That's obviously the sums will change. We'll worry about that later on. And so now, what are the other constraints that we have? Give me a second. Go back to the constraints to see what the constraints were. So we can do this step by step. 6 more students in E1 than in E4. We've used that. After the reshuffle, number in E4 was 3 more than the E1. We'll come back to this. The number of students in E2 increased by 30 after the change process. We know the total after was 76. The total before should have been 46. That's a useful constraint. We're looking for E2 final and E1 original to verify about this. This says before the change process, E4 had 2 more than E6. If we find E4, then we can do something with E6. So let's go step by step back to our grid. These 2 are 1. We've done that. E6 ends with 76. So sorry, E2 ends with 76. This number we are confident of. E2 should have begun with 76 minus 30, which is 46. What does this tell us? These two cells should both be 0. And E4 had 2 more than E6 originally, or E6 should go to 23. I mean, this is 1, this is 1. So we've got 6 out of the 12 cells already in our bag. And wonderful. This total goes to 21. This total is at 18. And the rest we can add layers onto this, find the totals and stick them in, and dot the i's and cross the t's. But we've got 6 cells so far, and super. So let's fill this even further. The total, we've added 4 more ones, so this goes to 296. Right? For the remaining, we need to fill 6 more cells. The total has to go to 300, or we should have 4 ones and 2 zeros. We started with requiring 8 ones and 4 zeros. We filled 4 ones. These 2 and these 2 are ones. These 2 are zeros. We've done that. And then we need to figure out the remaining cells. And so now the totals, let's get the totals clearly. 9 plus 2, 11, 11 plus 1, 12, 13, 17, with 1 cell remaining. So this could be 17 or 18. This is 76. We're good with this. 10, 18, 20, 45, 48, 78. This could be 78 or 79. 1 cell remaining. 1, 15, 16, 21. This could be 21 or 22 or 23. 2 cells remaining. This 4 plus 2, 6. 6 plus 1, 7. 37, 39, 44. 44. Let me do the total again. 37, 38, 40, 44. 44 totally. Total could be 44 or 45. And so we've got a sense of what these numbers could be because we've filled half the remaining cells. Right? Now let's go to the other constraints. After the reshuffle, the number of students in E4 was 3 more than that in E1. E4 is 21 or 22 or 23. 21, 22, 23. E1, 17 or 18, only 1 empty cell. The maximum E1 can be is 18. The minimum E4 can be is 21. We are through. We are home dry. E1 cannot be 22 because then the difference would be 4. What this tells us is this should be maximum. This should be minimum. These two are not possible. It should be a 0. It should be a 0. Now we have only 1, 2, 3 cells remaining. Of the 3 cells, you can even count the ones and zeros and know how many ones should be there and how many zeros should be there. And so we started with saying we needed 8 ones and 4 zeros. We filled 4 ones and 2 zeros. And then we added 1 more 1, 5 ones. And we added 2 more zeros. It becomes 4 zeros. Or what should be the numbers here, here, and here? It should all be 1. We need to add 3 more ones to the process. These 3 should be 1, should be 1, should be 1, should be 1. Once you've done this, make sure the totals add up clearly. The numbers are fine. This is our final grid. It's a kind of question where we do not actually need to solve multiple variants. You've got one final standing point. We know that there are 31 students in E1, 46 in E2, 36 in E3, 25 in E4 when they began. And then it became 18, 76, 78 when they ended. How many shifted from any elective to any other elective? You can just look at this grid and give the answer. And key points here, make sense of the table before you start answering questions or seeing the constraints or looking at the question. When you make sense of the table, if you don't have a clear, crystal clear understanding of what the table means, what does the cell mean? When this, you have picked some cell here, what does it mean? This tells us that 25 students stayed back in E3. They originally selected E3, they continued to be in E3. This says from E4, 5 students jumped to, from E7, 5 students jumped to E4. The remaining cells are 0 or 1 only. There are 12 empty cells. If you can understand how the data is presented, then try it. Otherwise, don't. Right? How many elective courses among E1 to E6 had a decrease in their enrollments? E1
had a decrease. From 31 it goes to 18. So E1 had a decrease. E2 46 to 76, that's an increase. 36 to 78, that's an increase. 25 to 21, E4 had a decrease. E5 38 to 45, that's an increase. E6 23 to 61, that is an increase. How many had a decrease? From E7 also decreased, but from E1 to E6, two of these declined, E1 and E4. After the change process, which of the following is a correct sequence of number of students in the 6 electives? 18, 76, 78, 21, 45, 61. 18, 76, should have been 79. I think I've made an addition mistake. I've not accounted for this one. So the table is wrong, but this is a choice you're looking for. And once you've got the whole grid, you're just writing down the answers, nothing more than that. After the change process, which course among E1 to E6 had the largest change in its enrollment as a percentage of its original enrollment? We want a percentage change. We're looking for small numbers to begin with. 31 to 18, this is 13 by 31. 46 to 76, 30 by 46. That is larger so far. 36 to 78 in E2. So 36 to 78, 42 by 78. 36 to 78, so this 42 by 36. So far this is largest. 25 to 21, 4 by 25, not so high. 38 to 45, 7 by 38, not so high. 38 to 61, 23 by 61, not so high. 42 by 36 is more than 100% increase in E3. The answer should be E3. Sorry, E3 or E6? The answer says E6. I'm going to look at this. It is 23 to 61. I looked at 38. Sorry about that. 23 to 61. That's a change of 38 by 23. That's more than 100% and more than this. So you're looking at E6 as the right answer. Maximum percentage change. Don't get it wrong, obviously. I can afford to get it wrong. You should be more careful. Right? So later, the college imposed a condition that after the change of elective, the enrollment in any elective other than E7 dropped to less than 20 students. All the students who had left that course will be required to re-enroll for that elective. Which of the following is a correct sequence of electives in decreasing order of their final enrollments? And this is a proper time-consuming question. So from an exam point of view, we'll need to think about, is this good value for time? After this, at the end, this is 76, 78, 21, 45, 61. And so this doesn't change. So these don't change. But E1 has dropped to less than 20. And so people who had all left from E1 have to return to E1. And so 9 stayed back in E1. Right? From E1, 0 went to E2. 2 went to E3. So these two will have to return to E1. And so yes, all the students who had left that course will be required to re-enroll for that elective. From E1, these students have left. So 2 went to E3, 1 went to E4, 5 went to E5. So, sorry, from E1 to others, from E1, 5 went to E2, 10 went to E3, 1 went to E4, 4 went to E5, and 2 went to E6. All the students who had left that course will be required to re-enroll for that elective. So all these are left. So 10, 5 plus 10, 15 plus 1, 16 plus 4, 20 plus 2, 22. So this will increase by 22, will go to 40. Right. E2 will reduce by 5, will go to 71. E3 will reduce by 10, it will go to 68. E4 will reduce by 1, or it will go to 20. E5 will reduce by 4, will go to 41. E6 will reduce by 2, will go to 59. Decreasing order of their final enrollments. So the highest would be E2, 10 E3, then E6, E5, E1, E4 choice A. So E2, E1 kind of misses that constraint. The total does drop to less than 20 students. So anyone who jumped out of E1 has to come back and re-enroll for E1. Basically saying that this question is not going to be, this course will not even be offered. There are people who have originally chosen it. So all you guys who ran out of this thing, come back and select E1. Now, because of the realignment, the whole table changes. It's a time-consuming question, but if got this far, might as well have a go and crack that as well. Just some CAT DILR slot 1 2018, wonderful set of questions, nice and tough as well. So please make sure you have tried these before you come and watch the solution. This is not a movie. If you have not tried and you can't just recall the term DI, WE, GA, composite score and all that, then there's no value in this. Right? Let's go to this one. A company administers a written test comprising 3 sections, not comprising of 3 sections. Of 20 marks each, DI, WE and GA. A composite score is done by doubling DI marks. So composite score is doubling DI marks and then adding it to the sum of the other 2 marks. Wonderful. Candidates who score less than 70% in 2 or more sections are disqualified. 70% of 20 is 14. Less than 14 in 2 or more sections, you'll get disqualified. From among the rest, 4 highest composite scores are recruited. The 4 people with the highest composite scores are recruited. If 4 or fewer candidates qualify, all who qualify are recruited. If only 3 candidates qualify, we'll be recruiting only 3. Will not make up the 4th one. Their marks in the test are given in the table below. Obviously, as usual, there are some numbers that are empty. There'll probably be something in the story that helps us fill all this in. Right? So this looks like something where we'll fill a bunch of things and probably have only one final table or get most of the stuff filled and then jump onto the questions. Right? Wonderful. So this is the information given that's going to help us fill the table. No 2 candidates had the same composite score. Good. Unique composite score. Ajay was the unique highest scorer in WE. Let's look at this. WE, Esther has got 18. So Ajay has scored 19 or 20 in WE. Among the 4 recruited, so there have been 4 recruited, so 4 satisfy all criteria. Geeta had the lowest composite score. So Geeta is in. Indu was recruited, brilliant. Danish, Harini and Indu had scored the same marks in GA. Indu and Jatin both scored 100% in exactly 1 section. And Jatin's composite score was 10 more than Indu's. So Jatin has scored 20 in 1 section. Indu has also scored 20 in 1 section. Might be the same section, might not be. Whatever Indu's composite score is, Jatin's was 10 more than Indu's. Indu is in, and so is Geeta. And so I'm going to fill in. This one looks like a juicy criteria. I'm going to put in something with 20 marks. So let's start with that. So first up, we fill the composite scores for the people whom we know all 3 scores for. Chetna, 19, 4 and 12. 19 into 2, 38. 38 plus 4, 42 plus 12, 54. Esther, 12 into 2, 24 plus 18, 42 plus 16, 58. Falak, 30, 37, 47. Wonderful. So far, so good. Now, we know Jatin has scored 20 in 1 section. It's got to be this. The other 2 marks we know. So 20 into 2 is 40. 40 plus 16, 56 plus 14, 70. Indu has scored a total of 60 because she scored 10 less than Jatin. We know that Geeta is in, Indu is in. Obviously, Jatin should also be in. He scored more than 14 in 2 sections and he scored a higher composite score than Indu. Right? Wonderful. And we know that Ajay should have got 19 or 20. We also know that Danish, Harini and Indu have scored the same mark in GA. We know Jatin has got 70, we know Indu has got 60. Jatin is in, Indu is in, Geeta is in. Wonderful. Now let's look at this. We know that Indu has scored 20 in one of the 3 sections. It's not this. So either for Indu, either GA is 20 or DI score is 20. If her DI score were 20, her WE is 8, then her GA score should be 20 into 2, 40 plus 8 she has got from just these two. Her total composite score is 60. So 40, this should be 12. If GA were 20, then she has 8 in this. Her composite score is 60. 28 we have accounted for. So the remaining 32 should come from this. DI should be 16. Now remember, we know that Indu got selected. With 28 and 12, she cannot get selected because there are two sections below 14. So this possibility is ruled out. This one works. Brilliant. So this should be 20. This should be 16. This is 20. This is 20. We're filling in quite a lot of data points. So let's fill all those in. 20, 20, 20, 16, 20, 70, 60. Because Danish has got 20, Danish's overall CS score will be 8 into 2, 16, plus 15, 31, plus 20, 51. And we know that Jatin is in, Indu is in, and Geeta is in. Let's think about this. Geeta is in, and we know Ajay has got 19 or 20. If you can zero in, that will be brilliant. So Ajay's composite score, 8 into 2 is 16. 16 plus 16 is 32. So Ajay scored either 32 plus 19 or 32 plus 20. 32 plus 19 is 51. 32 plus 20 is 52. 51 is not possible because Danish has got 51 and everyone should have got a unique CS. This is ruled out. I'm going to put this as 20. Now think about this. Geeta has been selected. So Geeta's composite score, 14 into 2 would be 28, plus 6 is 34. 34 plus whatever she can get in WE would be her composite score. Now, the maximum she could get in WE is 19. It's not even 20. It would have been 20, but Ajay has got 20 and Ajay has got the unique highest score. So even if it were 20, it would take us only to 54, but she can go maximum to 53. So maximum score Geeta can get is 53, which means Esther is in. Geeta has got the 4th highest CS scores among those selected. Esther is definitely in because higher than 14, higher than 15, higher than Geeta as far as composite scores are concerned. So Esther, Geeta, Indu and Jatin are the 4 candidates who get selected. And we do not know how much Geeta has scored. Maybe 19, taking her to a total of 53. Maybe not. We'll have to figure that out. So Ajay should have got 20. This much we know. Right? So now think about this. Geeta could not have got 20. She might have got 19 or 18 or 17 or 16. If she'd got 19, her composite score would be 53. If she's got 18, her composite score would be 52, which Ajay has got, and Ajay satisfies those criteria. Or Geeta should have scored 19 in order to be the 4th highest among those selected. She should have got more than 52. So 53 works. Geeta should have scored 19. So wonderful. We've got the composite scores of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people. We know Jatin, Indu, Geeta and Esther are selected. We know the remaining 6 are not selected. We know the scores of everything except Bala in DI and Harini in WE. These 2 we do not know. Everything else we know. Right? There is no information about these 2. So I'm going to jump into the questions and see if we can solve those. Right? Which of the following must be true? Jatin's composite score was more than that of Danish. So Jatin's got 70. This is definitely true. Danish only 51. True. Indu scored less than Chetna and DI. Indu scored 16. Chetna scored 19. Definitely true. Jatin scored more than Indu in GA. Indu's got 20 in GA. So this is not true. 1 and 2 are both true. Choice D. Let's go to the next one. Which of the following statements must be false? Bala scored same as Jatin in DI. Same as Jatin in DI. This means Bala should have scored 20. Is that possible? Possible. No condition goes right. Bala's composite score would be 40 plus 20, 60. But he still could not have got selected because these two are less than 14. However, this is 20 and this goes to 60. Then these two numbers will end up being the same, and that is not possible. So Bala scored as same as Jatin in DI cannot be true, must be false. This is a choice we are looking for. Let's eliminate the others as well. Bala's composite score was less than that of Esther. Esther's is 58. Bala's, could it be less than 58? Yeah, it could be. Bala's could have scored only 10 here. 10 into 2, 20, 20 plus 20, 40. Possible. Or 11 or 12. So this is possible. We cannot say must be false. Chetna scored more than Bala and DI. Chetna scored 19. Could Bala have scored 18 or 17 or 16? Again, possible. We cannot say it must have been false. Harini's composite score was less than that of Falak. Falak's is 47. Harini's less than Falak. 5 into 2, 10. 10 plus 20, 30. Between 13 or 14, yeah, possible. The only thing that must have been false is the first one. If all the candidates except Ajay and Danish had different marks in DI, Bala's composite score was less than Chetna's composite score, then what is the maximum marks Bala could have scored in DI? Everyone should have scored a different thing. Bala's composite score less than Chetna's. Think about this. Chetna's composite score is 54. 9 plus 11 is 20. So we call this as X. 20 plus 2X is the composite score. If this were equal to 54, X should be 17. Or X should be less than 17. Bala's composite score was less than Chetna's composite score. So we can forget about 20, 19, 18, 17. We can forget that. We're thinking about numbers less than 16. Start with 16. 16, is it possible? Indu has scored 16. So 16 is not possible. 15 is not possible. 14 is not possible. 16, 15, 14 are not possible. Maybe we can try 13. 13 into 2 is 26. Plus 9 plus 11. 6, 1, 3, 4. 46 as an overall composite score. Nobody else has 46. Harini could have something different. 13, nobody has got 13. The overall score will be less than Chetna's. So 13 is possible. 13 is our best case scenario. If all the candidates score different marks in WE, then what is the maximum marks Harini could have scored in WE? Different marks. So we want maximum. Let's start from 20. 20 is ruled out. 19 is ruled out. 18 is ruled out. Maybe Harini scored 17. If you put the 17, then composite score will be 10 plus 17, 37 plus 20. 10 plus 17, 27 plus 20, 47. Which is not possible because Falak has 47. So 17 is also ruled out. 16 is ruled out. 15 is ruled out. Maybe 14 will work. 14 gives us a composite score of 10 plus 14, 24 plus 20, 44. Which nobody else has. That will work. So a WE score of 14 for Harini satisfies all the conditions given. That can work. A wonderful, wonderful set. Do try this set before you come to the solution part. Almost all the sets that are there in CAT 2017 and 18 in DILR are brilliant. So try all of them. Smartphones. There are only 4 brands of entry-level smartphones called Azra, Bysi, Cxqi and Dipq. A, B, C and D effectively in a country. Details about their market share, unit selling price, profitability for the year 2016 are given in the table below. 40, 25, 15, 20, because unit selling price is given. And assume market share refers to share in number of units, not share in revenue. That will be described as revenue share. Market share can also denote revenue if you're talking only in terms of overall revenues, but here we are clearly talking in terms of units. In 2017, sales volume of entry-level smartphones grew by 40%. So all four put together, they are the only smartphone brands. Right, so put together, their volumes grew by 40%. Cxqi offered a discount of 40%. So this 30,000 becomes 18,000, which resulted in a 15% increase in market share. Each of the other three brands lost 5% market share. So this 15 becomes 30, this becomes 20, this becomes 35, this becomes 15. The unit selling price of the other three brands and the profitability values remain the same. The profitability of Cxqi came down to half of its value. This becomes 20, these remain the same, these remain the same, these remain the same. And so Cxqi has slashed its price, dropped its profitability, and increased its market share. Right? Wonderful. Now let's look at what has been the impact on 2017, and then we'll look at the questions as well. Fine. The questions are very clear. They're dependent on revenue and profit and highest profit. So we need to fill that grid and then reimagine this. Fine. I'm going to solve the stem. Fine. What are we going to do? We're going to say overall numbers X in 2016. Overall numbers will be 1.4X. So it's 40, 25, 15, 20. 15 should become 30. These three are down, 5, 5, 5. These two are same. These two are same. These two are same. 30,000 becomes 18. 40% profitability becomes 20% profitability. Wonderful. Now we know that market share numbers are based on overall number of units. And so this is 40% of X. There will be 35% of 1.4X. Remember that. So it's better if we can imagine actual numbers. This is X. This is 40% of X. 0.4X, 0.25X, 0.15X, 0.2X. This will be 0.35 times 1.4X, 0.2 times 1.4X, 0.3 times 1.4X, 0.15 times 1.4X. Revenues would be 0.4X into 15K. I'm writing 15,000 as 15K. Be 0.25X into 20K, 0.15X into 30K, 0.2X into 25K. Fine. We can find these numbers, we can find these numbers and complete everything and just solve the answer. But I'm going to go step by step, question by question. Maybe we'll need to fill all the numbers, maybe we won't need to. Fine, let's go step by step and look at the questions. The brand that had the highest revenue in 2016, 0.4 into 15K, this is 66K, 0.25 into 20, 5XK, 0.15 into 30, 4.5XK, 25 into 0.2, 25 into 2 is 10, this is 5XK. The brand that had the highest revenue in 2016 is Azra. We've got this. This is very useful. The brand that had the highest profit in 2016. So this was 6, 5, 4.5 and 5. 6, 5, 4.5 and 5. I'm just copying down the same number. Profit would be 0.6 XK, 1.5 XK, 4.5 into 4, 40%, 1.8 XK, 5 into 30%, 1.5 XK. Highest profit in 2016 is Cxqi, this number. 40% profitability is a sizable number. That's a lot. So it helps to track that. Now we pretty much fill this and this. We've answered 2 questions, but in that process, we filled out 2 columns for 2016. Highest profit in 2017. So we're going to find this, then this, then this. Fine. So this is 0.35 into 1.4 into 15K into 10%. And so it's a fairly involved calculation to find this. But let's see if we can see if something is, which is higher. Fine. So we're doing 35 into 1.4 into 15 into 10%. And so here the profitability is 3 times. This is higher priced. This is only less than half. This is still more than half. So it is not A. 20% of 1.4 into 20K into 30% will be higher than A. So I don't need to find the number. And so 20%, 20 to 30, 30% to 20%. These two will offset each other. The USP, the unit selling price is higher. So B is greater than C. D, 30%, 30% profitability. This is same. 20K, 25K, 20% share, 15% share. 20 to 25K is higher, but 15 to 20K is higher by a greater percentage. So this will be off. This will work. So the highest profit in 2017 is BYSI. The beauty here is we don't have to compute the numbers. We can compare and then make sense of it. If you think the closest comparison between B and D, 20 to 20 is 400, 15 into 25 is 375. Both are at 30%, so this will be higher. And we can calculate each number, especially because we are given a calculator. Might as well go ahead and find all the numbers. But if that, you can do this question without computing the individual numbers. The complete list of brands whose profits went up in 2017 from 2016 is, we have to find the actual profits here, 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 and actual profits here, 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 and then compare. And that's going to be time consuming. I'm going to see if we can, we are going to do that. I'm just going to see if there is a shorter way, juicier way. And so think about this. Here the market share of C doubles. Right? This USP falls, profitability halves. Right? So here the numbers, this is, the price is same, profitability is same. This is boosted by 40%. 0.35 times 40, the number is going to be greater than 0.4. 20 times 1.4 is 0.28, this is greater. 15 times 1.4 is 0.21, this is also greater. A, B, and D end up doing higher numbers in terms of actual numbers, not market share, than they did in the previous year. Their USP and their profitability percentage remain the same. So A, B, D, all three are going to have higher profits in 2017 than 2016. This works. Everything has only 3 choices. Cxqi, simply there, let us drop the price, increase market share strategy, does not work. Let's verify that. 1.4 times 32 is 0.42. 0.42 into 18 into 20% compared to 0.15 into 30 into 40%. I'm going to compare these two. Right? So 0.15 into 40% is 0.15 into 0.4, which is 0.06 into 30, which is 1.8. 0.42 into 18 into 20%, or 0.42 into 20% is 0.084. 18 into 0.084, 18 4 is 72, 27, 18 each are 144, plus 7, 151, 115, 5. This is 1.8, that is 1.512. So from 2016 to 17, Cxqi falls, whereas the other 3 increase. This is a complete table. The key thing here, we can answer a bunch of these questions. We can answer all 4 questions without getting to the entire table. So you could have just said, look, I'm going to shut my mind off, fill in everything, and then just answer the 4 questions in a hurry. That's possible, doable, simple numbers. You're given a calculator. Or you can be street smart about it, just compare numbers based on a feel for the numbers and then get the answers right. Both methods will work fine. Get sufficient practice in comparing without computing. It's sometimes frightfully useful.
Archery, 6 players. Tanzi, Umeza, Wangdu, Xyla, Yonita and Zeneca. TUWXYZ. No V. Okay, TUWXYZ. Competed in an archery tournament. The tournament had 3 compulsory rounds. Rounds 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. In each round, player shot an arrow at a target, understandably. Hitting the center of the target called bullseye fetched 5 points. Highest score of 5. The only other possible scores a player could achieve were 4, 3, 2, 1. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 are the scores they could achieve. 5 is called bullseye. Every bullseye score in the first 3 rounds gave a player 1 additional chance to shoot in the bonus rounds, 4 to 6. The possible scores in rounds 4 to 6 were identical to the first 3. So if you get 3 bullseyes, you get 3 more shots. If you get no bullseye, you have only 3 rounds to play. So far, so good. A player's total score in the tournament was the sum of his or her scores in all rounds played by him or her. Wonderful. Add everything up. The table below presents partial information on points scored by the players after completion of the tournament. In the table, NP means that the player did not participate in that round, while a hyphen means that the player participated and the score information is missing. Wonderful. Now we'll have to really look at the table before we build further. So everybody played the first 3. Tanzi played 4 rounds, not 5 and 6. And she scored 1 bullseye in the first 3 rounds. Umeza scored 2 bullseyes in the first 3 rounds because she played 2. Wangdu has no bullseye, so this is less than 5. This is less than 5. Xyla had this also. She's had 3 bullseyes. Wonderful. So 5, 5, 5. Yonita had 1 bullseye. Zeneca had 2 bullseyes, 2 5s and something else. Tanzi, Umeza and Yonita had the same total score. Good. Probably not a good starting point. Good. Total scores for all players except 1 were in multiples of 3. They were all in multiples of 3. The highest score was 1 more than double that of the lowest score. If lowest score is n, highest score is 2n plus 1. The first takeaway is that it's an odd number. 2 into n plus 1. The highest score is an odd number. The number of players hitting bullseye in round 2 was double of that in round 3. The number of bullseyes here is 2 into number of bullseyes here. Tanzi and Zeneca had the same score in round 1 but different scores in round 3. So this were x, or z and z, y and y. Different ones here. And I think the I don't know, all 5 constraints, they don't give us anything. I would have loved it if said Yonita had scored 4 points in round 2. It would have been useful. T, U and Y had the same score. That's helpful. And so you played 5 rounds, well T and Y played only 4 rounds, which is had pretty modest round 4 and round 5. So I can understand the overall scores being, the sums being the same. Right? Highest score is likely to be Xyla. He's already got 21. He got 21 plus something. And whatever is here. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. So 22 to 26. One of those is the highest score. Right? If it were not Xyla, Tanzi could not have got now even to 20. Tanzi and Umeza and Yonita are the same. Wangdu has not got any bullseye. You can get to 12 maybe. Zeneca is possible. Can Zeneca be higher than Xyla? Because Zeneca has 4 5s, 20. She could end up with 23. And Xyla could end up with 22. So Zeneca could be the highest. So X or Z could be the highest. What could be the highest score? It's an odd number. It could be 23, 25. It cannot be 27. It's 23 or 25. Brilliant. We've got something to work with. Let's start with that. Highest score is 23 or 25. Now, the lowest score were n, highest score would be 2n plus 1. This is 23. This is 11. If this is 25, this is 12. We can sense that the lowest score should be Wangdu, not anyone else. Because if these 3 are equal, they are likely to be more than 12. Right? And Zeneca has got 4 5s. Right? But is it 11 or 12? Remember, the highest total scores for all players except 1 were in multiples of 3. 23 and 25 are both not multiples of 3. So the highest score is not a multiple of 3.
That much we know for sure. So every other score should be a multiple of 3. That means cannot be 11, or the highest is 25, which is Xyla. This should be 25. That means this is 4. Zeneca has got 4 5s, has got 20 definitely. Should be 21 or 24. That's her total. Right? Brilliant. We've got the total score for Xyla. We need to find the other constraints. So we've accommodated this in some form. We still use it, I think. Highest score, this we have accounted for. Tanzi and Zeneca had the same score in round 1, but different scores in round 3. We'll have to worry about this. We'll worry about this a little later on. And 25 is the highest. So far, so good. Right. Total scores for all players except one were in multiples of 3. One of them scored 12. That much we know. Now, 5 plus 4 is 9. Tanzi has got at least one more 5. Because there's got to be a 5 here. I'll go to 14. So it's more than 14. So the one who scored the lowest is Wangdu. So Wangdu's total should be 12. Tanzi has got 14 plus something. Yonita has got 5 plus 3, 8 plus 5, 13 plus something. This is 14 plus something. This is 13 plus something. Right? But we need them to be multiples of. So Yonita would be 13 plus 1 score. Tanzi would be 14 plus 1 score. Umeza would have 2 5s. 5 plus 5, 10. 10 plus 1, 11 plus 2, 13 plus 1 score. All 3 of them should be equal and should be a multiple of 3. It cannot be 18 because that missing score cannot be 5, or the total is 15. 15, 15, 15. That's the total. Wonderful. So far, so good. So these two should be 4. That one was easy because the total should add up to 12. Fine. Now the missing scores for Tanzi are 5 and 1. For Umeza are 5, 5, 5 plus 5, 10, 11, 13, 2. Yonita would be 5 plus 3, 8 plus 5, 13 plus 2, 15. Wonderful. Zeneca, there is 2 5s sitting there, and the last one is either 1 or 4, because the total should be 21 or 24. So far, so good. Now let's think about this. The number of players hitting bullseye in round 2 was double that in round 3. In round 2, was double that in round 3. So this is 1, and this could be 2, or this is 2, and this could be 4. It cannot be 3 and 6, because all 6 don't score bullseye in round 2. That much we know. 1 and 2, 2 and 4. Now, 1 and 2 looks a little off. That's too few bullseyes. Whether 2 bullseyes are to come for Zeneca and Umeza. Xyla has already got bullseyes in all 3. So if this is 1, this is 2, then there's no bullseye from any of the others. These 2 have to be bullseyes. These 2 have to be bullseyes. This has to be a bullseye. All other bullseyes have to come in round 2 and round 3. Round 2 and round 1. Nothing in round 3 because there's already been 1 bullseye. Let's check out that possibility. It looks like it is not likely. Right? So let's think about this. Suppose there is only 1 bullseye here. Then in that scenario, this should be a bullseye. This should be a bullseye. And this has to be a bullseye. This will be 1. These 2 are bullseyes. Right? So there will be 1, 2, 3 bullseyes. That's not possible because there should only be 2 bullseyes in round 2. So this 1 and 2, that possibility is ruled out. Or round 3 should have 2 bullseyes. Round 2 should have 4 bullseyes. That always seem more likely. We've eliminated the other possibility. So 2 in round 3 and 4 in round 2. 4 bullseyes in round 2. There are 2 non-bullseyes. That means the other 4 need to be bullseyes. 5, 5, 5, 5. Now we can fill in Yonita's score completely. 5, 5, 3. 10 plus 3, 13. This is 2. Right. There's only 1 more bullseye here. Tanzi and Zeneca had the same score in round 1, but different scores in round 3. So if this were 5, had the same score in round 1 but different scores in round 3. If this were 5, this will not be 5. This will be different. Whereas these 2 should be equal. And so if this were 5, this should be 1. I mean, this should be 1. Then this cannot be. This has to be 5. That condition will be violated. If round 3 for Tanzi were 5, then round 1 would have to be 1. Then Zeneca's round 1 would have to be 1. Then this has to be 5. And so that is not possible. That means Tanzi did not score a 5. Here, Tanzi scored a 5 in round 1. Zeneca and Tanzi had the same score in round 1. This is 5. So this is 1. And we should be nearly through. And so 5 plus 5, 10, plus 5, 15, 20. It should be 1 or 4. These two are different, so this should be 4. Brilliant. So these two are different, so this should be 4. So this adds up to 24. We've got everything but Umeza's score in round 1 and round 3. Now in round 3, in round 2 there are 4 5s. In round 3 there's only 1 5. There should be one more 5, which should be this. This is 5. 5 plus 5, 10, plus 1, 11, plus 3, 13. 2 more, 15. With that we complete the entire grid. Fine. 4 bullseyes in round 2. 2 bullseyes in round 3. 3 in round 1. Xyla with the maximum at 25. Zeneca with a multiple of 3, 24. These two not equal to each other. These two equal to each other. All but Xyla being multiples of 3. 12 into 2 plus 1 being 25. All the conditions appear to be satisfied. And we should just jump onto the questions and just get them right. What are the highest score? 25. Xyla. One of the first inferences we made. What was Zeneca's total score? 24. Basically, it could have been 21 or 24. 24 fits properly. Which of the following statements is true? Zeneca's score was 23. No, it was 24. Zeneca was the highest scorer. No, it was Xyla. Xyla was the highest scorer. True. It was 23. No, it was 25. What was Tanzi's score in round 3? Round 3, Tanzi, 1. Done. Once you've got the grid, completing it is very easy, but it's a tough set because too many constraints. You have to get the 25 and 12 going first, then these 3 being equal next. This is a tougher question than what you have seen before, but it's also very much doable. And so, in the table below, the check marks indicate all languages spoken by 5 people: Paula, Quentin, Robert, Sally, and Terence. So PQRST, I like that. Okay. The languages are also A, B, C, D, E, F: Arabic, Basque, Chinese, Dutch, English, and French. Right, so A, B, C, D, E, and F. Paula speaks 2 of these, Quentin speaks 2, Robert speaks 2, Sally speaks 2, and Terence speaks 2. Wonderful. Right? These 5 people form 3 teams, T1, T2, and T3. Each team has either 2 or 3 members, and they definitely overlap across the team. A team is said to speak a particular language if at least one of its members speaks that language. The following facts are known. Each team speaks exactly 4 languages and has the same number of members. This is very useful. I'm thinking this will be very useful. Exactly 4 languages. English and Chinese are spoken by all 3 teams. Basque and French by exactly 2 teams. And the other languages, so that is Arabic, A, B, C, and Dutch, by exactly 1 team. None of the teams include both Quentin and Robert. Paula and Sally are together in exactly 2 teams. Robert is in team 1 and Quentin is in team 3. As ever, the last constraint gives us the best information. So I'm going to start with that. But I think this is going to be a fun set. And so the 3 teams, we don't know how many members are there in each team, but we know it's the same number of members. Each team speaks 4 languages, exactly 4. Right. Team 1, Team 2, Team 3. Robert is in Team 1. Quentin is in Team 3. All 3 teams speak English and Chinese, English and Chinese, English and Chinese. Right. Wonderful. Robert speaks Arabic. So Team 1 will speak Arabic. Nobody else speaks Arabic, and Arabic is spoken by only 1 team. So R is present in only 1 team. R is there in team 1, nowhere else can he be there. Likewise, Quentin speaks Dutch. So Dutch sits here. Quentin can be there in no other team. None of the teams include both Quentin and Robert. This is superfluous. We don't even need that. Right? So we put R in team 1 and Q in team 3. We've also figured out the languages. Right? So English, Chinese. Robert speaks Arabic and French. Arabic and French will sit here. English, Chinese, and Dutch will sit here. Brilliant. Now, in Arabic sits here, Dutch sits here. That means Arabic and Dutch have been accounted for. Each of them appears in only one team. Right? So think about team 2. Which 4 languages should be spoken here? Arabic and Dutch cannot be spoken here. So there'll be English, Chinese, French, and Basque. Right? So which other teams can R and Q be a part of? No other team. R speaks Arabic, only one team speaks Arabic. Q speaks Dutch, only one team speaks Dutch. Right? So no, they cannot be part of any other team. Which languages are spoken by team 2? English, Chinese, French, and Basque. Right? So R and Q cannot be there in this team. And super. Now let's think about this. English, Chinese, and Dutch are spoken here. What should be the 4th language here? So, team 2, we know English, Chinese, French, and Basque. 4 languages. Team 3 has English, Chinese, and Dutch. Dutch and Arabic can be present in only one. French and Basque are present in 2. This has French and this has French. The Basque here, this should be Basque. Q brings in Dutch and English. We still need to bring in Chinese and Basque. Wonderful. So team 3 speaks Basque also. Team 2 should definitely include. So let's think about this. Team 2 speaks English, Chinese, French, Basque. Only one person speaks Basque. That is Sally. So Sally should definitely sit here. And team 3 also speaks Basque. So Sally should sit here also. Wonderful. Now let's recap. Let's start with team 2. Team 2, we have already accounted for Dutch and English, and Sally speaks Basque and English. We still need to bring in Chinese. Right? Chinese can come from either Paula or Terence, but Terence will bring with him French also. So not Terence, only Paula. This is done. Terence cannot be here. Robert cannot be here. So there are 3 people in team 3 and only 3 can be there. So there are only 3 person per team. Super. Now let's look at team 2. Team 2 includes Sally. Sally brings with her Basque and English. So we need to have Chinese and French. Chinese can come from Paula or Terence. French can come from Robert or Terence, but it cannot come from Robert because Robert will bring Arabic also. So it has to be Terence. So Terence sits here. Team 2 has Terence and Sally. Sally brings Basque and English. Terence brings Chinese and French. And so SNT will be there. SNT account for all 4 languages. We need a 3rd person, but we don't. We need to have a 3rd person on the team. But the 3rd person need not bring a new language. Should not bring a new language. Should be bringing something out, some 2 out of English, Chinese, French, and Basque. So far so good. So let's focus on the Paula and Sally are together in exactly 2 teams. What does this give us? And so we still need Paula and Sally. So this one has Sally. Just Paula and Sally. Let's see what Paula and Sally bring us together. Paula and Sally. Paula brings Chinese and English. Sally brings Basque and English. So Basque, Chinese, and English. So Basque has sense. So this one cannot have S and P. So this will have P and S. So team 2 has to have P. Teams 2 and 3 have P and S. Brilliant. Now we've got team 2 and 3 completely done. There's nobody here. Let's focus all our attentions on team 1. Team 1, Robert brings Arabic and French. Arabic and French. So we need to have English and Chinese coming in. And so English cannot come from Q because Q is not there. Q can be only in team 3. English cannot come from Sally because Sally will bring with her Basque also. Therefore, English has to come from Paula. English, Chinese, Arabic and French. Now there has to be a third member in team 1. The third member is not Sally, it's not Quentin, because Quentin will bring with him Dutch and Sally will bring with her Basque. We don't want either. Therefore, it has to be Terence. Terence brings with him Chinese and French. Both are already here. With this, we are through. So team 1 has RTP, team 2 has STP, team 3 has QPS. Brilliant. Now let's go to the questions. Who among the following 4 is not a member of team 2? Team 2, Sola is in, Sally is in, Paula is in, Terence is in. Quentin is not a part of team 2. Quentin can only be in one team, that is team 3. Who among the following 4 people is a part of exactly 2 teams? Exactly 2 teams. R is there in only one team. Q is there in only one team. Terence is there in 2 teams. Sally is there in 2 teams. And Paula is there in 3 teams. 3 plus 2 plus 2, 7 plus 1 plus 1, 9. That works. So the answer choice should be either Terence or Sally. Sally is there. Thankfully, Terence is not there. Answer choice is Sally. Who among the 5 people is a member of all teams? We just saw this. Paula is a member of all teams. This Paula sitting here, here, and here. Apart from Chinese and English, which languages are spoken by team 1? Chinese and English, Arabic and French. That's the answer. That is choice B. Lovely set. Very doable. The key here is to start with Arabic and Dutch. Spoken by only one each. That gives us R and Q, and R and Q can be nowhere else. If we figure out that there have to be 3 members in a team, this automatically writes itself as TP, because R and Q cannot be here. And then you go step by step methodically. Once we crack the languages, cracking the teams is far simpler. And so, wonderful, wonderful set. Once again, very doable.
Departmental stores. A chain of departmental stores has outlets in Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru and Kolkata. The sales are categorized by 3 departments: apparel, electronics and home decor. Apparels, electronics and home decor, Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Kolkata. An accountant has been asked to prepare a summary of the 2018 and 19 sales amounts for an internal report. He has collated partial information and prepared the following table. I love these sets. I love these sets because they're going to be number dependent. They're going to tell us that growth from this to this is same as growth from this to this. The percentage growth from this to this is same as this to this. And then a total for 2018 is less than total for 2019 by 40 crores. Something like that. And then we fill all the data in. Everything gets filled in. We answer questions. I'm hoping for that. I like these pure, the logical reasoning part is just number filling. I'm very comfortable with percentage growth, this and that, and putting some variable in. So if I find a set like this, I'm jumping in. And partial information is totally my thing. And let's look at this. And then the following additional information is given. Sales amounts in apparel were the same in Delhi and Kolkata. In apparel were the same for Mumbai and Bengaluru, etc., etc. I can't keep all of this in my head. I'm going to draw the table and go one by one and attack this. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The more the constraints are there, happier I am. Because that tells me that I'm likely to fill the entire grid and not have 6 variants there. And let's go step by step. I've filled all this in. The sales amounts in apparel department were the same for Delhi and Kolkata in 2018. So this is X. This is X. 2018, Delhi and Kolkata are same. Sales amounts in apparel department were the same for Mumbai and Bengaluru in 18. Mumbai, Bengaluru, 18. Why? Why? This sales amount matched the sales amount in the apparel department for Delhi in 2019. This is also why. Lovely. So this we have accounted for, this we have accounted for. We put in two variables. The sales amount in the home decor department were the same for Mumbai and Kolkata in 2018. Mumbai, Kolkata, same. This is Z. This is Z. Lovely. The sum of the sales amounts of the 4 electronic departments increased by the same amount as the sum of the sales of the floor apparel departments from 2018 to 19. 4 electronic departments increased by the same amount as apparel department. Electronic department, we have all the data. And this is plus 20, plus 20, minus 20, plus 20. 20 plus 20, 40. Minus 20, 20 plus 20, 40. So electronics is up 40 crores. So apparel department from 2018 to 19 should have also been up by 40 crores. It's not saying percentage growth, the actual sales amount is equal. Electronic department, I can add all 4 and find it. Simpler way, plus 20 minus 20 plus 20. These two, what is increase, what decrease and increase, they cancel each other out. 2 increases, so 40 crores increase. So apparel should have also increased by 40 crores from 18 to 19. I'll keep that in mind. Let's go and see the next set of constraints. So X and X, Y, 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 Z, Z. We filled in all the data. Fine. Lovely. Electronic, the apparel department should have been up 40 crores. All sales amounts are in rupees crores. The total sales amounts of the 4 home decor departments increased by rupees 70 crores from 18 to 19. 70 crore increase. This is 20 crores. This is 20 crores. So these two should have accounted for the remaining 30 crores. And so 20 and 20, 40 crores increase you have accounted for. These two should amount for the remaining 20. The 2018 numbers as Z and Z. So 2Z increasing to 72 plus 54, which is 126. Increasing to 126. This is an increase of 30 crores. So 2Z becoming 126 is an increase of 30 crores. Or 2Z. 2 times Z is 126 minus 30, which is 96 crores. Or Z is 48. 48. Of our 3 variables, we've already found one, 48 and 48. We still have some gaps. We'll get there. We'll get there when we get there. Wonderful. Let's go to the next one. The sales amounts in the home decor departments of Delhi and Bengaluru each increased by rupees 20 crores from 2018 to 19. Home decor of Delhi and Bengaluru each increased by 20. So this is a math why this should be 48 crores remaining. This is just a computational part. It's not a constraint. Sorry. We've got that. We've got Z is 48. Let's fill that in. Let's go to the next part. The sales amounts in apparel departments of Delhi and Bengaluru each increased by the same amount in 2019 from 18. Delhi and Bengaluru increased by the same thing. This goes from X to Y. The increase of Y minus X. It should go from Y to something increasing by Y minus X. Or this becomes 2y minus X. Lovely. So sales amounts in the apparel departments of Mumbai and Kolkata also each increased by the same amount. Mumbai and Kolkata. Kolkata is X to 54, increased by 54 minus X. Add this, Y plus 54 minus X. We've got everything. We've got a bunch of numbers filled in. For electronics and home decor, we've got everything filled in. For apparel, we have 2 variables, X and Y, but you filled everything based on X and Y. The last one is an actual number. So if you have something linked in X and Y, we're through. Okay. The sales amounts in the apparel departments of Delhi, Kolkata and Bengaluru in 2019 followed an arithmetic progression. Delhi, Kolkata, Bengaluru of 2019. Delhi 2019, which is Y. Kolkata 2019, which is 54. Bengaluru 2019, which is 2y minus X. This is an AP. R. This plus this is 2 times this. Or Y plus 2y minus X is 108. Or this gives us 3y minus X equals 108. Then arithmetic progression, two extreme terms add up to twice the middle term. 54 minus y equals 2y minus x minus 54. 2 times 54 is sum of these two. 3y minus x is 108. Brilliant. We have one more thing linking x and y. We are through. Maybe we will get that. The sales amounts in apparel department followed an arithmetic progression. Now we also know one thing. The apparel total increased by 40 crores. That we know, we still know that. We also know that 3y minus x equals 108. What is the apparel increase here? Here it is y minus x. What is the increase here? Here it is 54 minus x. Here this is y minus x. Here this is 54 minus x. We already know these two are equal, these two are equal. The total amount increase is 40 or y minus x plus y minus x. 2y minus 2x plus 54 minus x plus 54 minus x. 108 minus 2x equals 40. Or 2y minus 4x plus 68 equal to 0. We have 3y minus x equal to 108. 4x minus 2y is 68. Or we can rewrite this and say 2x minus y equals 34. So we solve this. 3y minus x is 108. 2x minus y, or how do I write this? Maybe we'll keep this as 2x minus y. 2x minus y equals 34. Double this. 6y minus 2x is 216. Add these two. 6y minus y is 5y. 5y is 250 or y is 50. Y is 50. 3y minus x is 108. We can find x. And so y equals 50. 3y minus x is 108. 3 into 50 minus x is 108. 3 into 50 is 150. X is 150 minus 108. 150 minus 108, which is 42. X is 42. Brilliant. So we fill everything in. This is x 42. This is y 50. This is y 50. This is y 50. This is x 42. 2y minus x. 2 into 50. 100 minus 42. 58. Y plus 54 minus x. 50 plus 54 minus 42. 54 minus 42 is 12. 50 plus 12 is 62. Fill everything in. 42, 50, 50, 62, 50, 58, 42, 54. So we've got the entire set of numbers for apparel, electronics and home decor for 18 and 19 for all 4 cities. You should just look at these questions and then answer them. We've got the entire grid. Plain vanilla plugging in gaps and plain vanilla equation solving in 2 variables. Nothing more than that. Let's show this. In home decor departments of which cities were the sales amounts the highest in 2018 and 19. I don't remember any data point. I've not tracked city. I've just solved X and Y. Got to look at the table. Highest in 2018 and 19. Home decor. 2018 highest is Delhi. 19, 100, 72, 80, 44. Again Delhi, Delhi and Delhi. Got it. Done. Simple question. Once you've got the grid, it's simple. What is the increase in sales amount in crore rupees in the apparel department of Mumbai from 18 to 19? 18 to 19 apparel department, 50 to 62, 12 crores. Done. So you get the grid, just marking down the answers. Among all the 12 departments, what was the maximum percentage increase in sales amount from 18 to 19? You need to be very savvy number wise. 42 to 50, not very high. 50 to 62, 12 out of 50, 24%. 50 to 58, low. 42 to 54, low. There's an increase of 12 over 50. There's an increase of 12 over 42. This is the highest so far. 12 by 42. Fine, I'm going to keep that in mind, but I'm going to look at the others. I might have to come back. 12 over 42 is the highest so far. Not 8 over 42, 12 over 42. 78 to 98, increase of 20. Increase of 20. Decrease, I don't have to worry. Increase of 20. In the 78 to 98, increase of 20 is the best. But 42 to 54 is probably sharper. 12 by 42, 20 by 78. 20 by 78 is close to 1/4. 12 by 42 could be more than 1/4. My gut feel is higher than that, but I'm not going to really compute. Both are in the 24-25% range, 1/4 range. 80 to 100, 78, 98 is sharper. 48 to 72. This is a winner so far. 48 to 72. It's an increase of 24 on a base of 48. Increased by half, increased by 50%. None of those is close to 50. So far is a winner. 60 to 80, 1/3. Okay, this is also big. This is half. This is lesser or half, 50% is my answer. The key thing here to kind of retain some form of RAM. You can't compute all, 12 numbers and then answer this. Not working. It's going to be too time consuming. We don't have an Excel file to plug in a formula. You have to keep on scrolling, and then your antenna should go up when there is something which is significant. If you've done the whole thing, the only two significant things would have been these two. That is up by 1/3, this is up by 50%, up by half. Up by half is better. That's your answer. What is the total sales amount in crore rupees in 2019 for the chain of departmental stores? 2019. So I'm going to add these. 150, 250, 248. Close to 250. The choices are far apart. So I can think of this as even 250. 62, 72, 102. 60 plus 70 is 130. Plus 100, 230. 236. 3 2s. 70, 80, 150. 150. 210. I've overshot in both places, but it's all right. I can remember that. 54, 54. 108 plus 100, 208. I put in another 210 here. We call this 230. Offset it. 250, 480, 420, 900. Choice. I'm just approximating slightly because I know my choices are wide apart. And so I don't want to end with zeros. I don't want to end with 6, 7, 8. I can do the accurate number. There are small enough numbers, fewer numbers. But because the choices are far apart, I can even just scan the numbers and get to the answer. 900 is the easy right answer. Board examination. In a certain board examination, students may appear for examination in 5 subjects: English, Hindi, Math, Science, and Social Science. Due to a certain emergency situation, we've all seen this, we're all used to this. A few of the examinations could not be conducted for some students. Hence, some students missed 1 exam and some others missed 2 examinations. Nobody missed more than 2 examinations, luckily. The board adopted the following policy for awarding marks to students. If a student appeared in all 5, then the marks awarded in each of the examinations were on the basis of scores obtained by them in those exams. Like usual, you get some mark, that's your score. If a student missed only 1 exam, then the marks awarded in that exam was the average of the best 3 among the 4 scores. If you attempted 4, take the best 3, take that average, put that for the 5th one. If a student missed 2 examinations, then the marks awarded in each of these was the average of the best 2 among the 3 scores in the examination they appeared for. So 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3, take the average and put it outside. The marks obtained by 6 students in the exam are given in the table below. Alba, Biti, Kal, Deep, Isha, Foni, A, B, C, D, E, F, English, Hindi, Math, Science, Social. Each of them missed either 1 or 2 examinations. Nobody has attempted all 5. They're living in tough times. Lovely, we've got this. Okay. Usually I like to have a look at the data to see what we are given. 6 people, 5 things, everything is good, but there are some that are going to be actual. Some that are going to be actual, some that are going to be computed. I've just marked something. Some could be actual, some could be computed. I'm not saying this is computed, that is actual. A few of these are going to be actual. A few are going to be based on average of this and that and this and that. Lovely. And then 4 of these students appeared in each of English, Hindi, Science, and Social. The student who missed the math exam did not miss any other exam. One of the students who missed the Hindi exam did not miss any other exam. The other student who missed the Hindi exam also missed the Science exam. So 2 students missed Hindi. One of them did not miss anything else. The other missed Science also. Lovely. First of all, I'm going to look at the table and then try to find out, use the first set of constraints. Right? So if you miss a test, then if you missed 2 exams, average of best 2. If you missed 1 exam, average of best 3. Right? So some score here is average of first and second or first, second and third. Right? Straight away, if I know this is average, it cannot be the maximum. So straight away, I can see Alva has taken the English exam. 80 cannot be the average of some 2 or some 3. Alva has taken the social exam. 60 cannot be the average of these two. Right? So average is 80 and 1 more is the average, or 80 and 2 more is the average number. Lovely. 80 is definitely included in computing the average. 60 is definitely not included. That is the least mark. 80 and 1 more giving the average as the number that is filling in 2 slots, or 80 and 2 more is the average that we are filling in 1 slot. Right? Definitely the bottommost score and the topmost score are not average. So if you take Bysi, she's definitely taken English, she's definitely taken the math exam. If you take Carl has definitely taken science, he's definitely taken English. Deep has definitely taken math, he's definitely taken English. Isha has definitely taken math, she's definitely taken social. Fani has definitely taken science, she's definitely taken Hindi. The topmost number, the bottommost number cannot be the average of some number of numbers. Lovely. So far, so good. Let's go further. We would have had to worry if there are multiple numbers, equal numbers and all that. 3 numbers being identical, right? 100, 100, 100. Then it could have even been the average. Luckily, none of that has happened. Lovely. So this part we can fill very easily. Like if we take Alva, 80 and 60 have been taken. Likewise, we could fill for everything else which we've already done. Right? Now, once you have done that completely, then we can step in and say, okay, Alva has taken 80 and 60. He's taken this. Average of 80 and something else could be 1 number, or 3 of those could be the third number. Average of 80 and 70 is 75, which is brilliant. So she's taken math. She's taken only 3 exams. Average of the best 2 is 75, which is for the other 2. So it just falls in place. But the only catch here is Alva could have taken English, math and Hindi and social. Average of these 3 will also be 75. Average of 80 and 70 is 75. Average of 80, 70 and 75 will be 75. If 2 marks average is X, average of these 2 and X will also be X. Right? So the moment we have a 75 and a 75 here, you have to keep in mind that either Alva could have taken English and math and social, or she have taken English, math, social and one of these 2 and the other could have been filled. We cannot say for sure that Alva took only 3 tests or all 4 or 4 out of 5 tests. We cannot say that. Right? So what we can say is Alva has definitely taken English and social. Alva has definitely taken math. She might have skipped both of these, in which case both of those have to be 75. Or she could have taken Hindi, in which case science will be 75. She could have taken science, in which case Hindi will be 75. Lovely. So we can do this, what we have done for Alva, for everybody else. And so, first of all, we fill the highest and lowest. 90 and 55, 75 and 100, 70 and 100, 95 and 55, 72 and 88. All good. Now let's look at this. 90 and 55 is the lowest. Average of 90 and 80 is 85. So she's taken this also. Bysi has taken that. Their average could be 85 of these 2, or some 3 of these could be 85 for the 4th one. So Bysi could have taken, she's definitely taken English, Hindi and math. She could have taken science. She could have taken social. She could have skipped both. All 3 possibilities exist. Likewise, for Carl has taken 100. Average of 180 is 90. Out of math and social, Carl could have taken one of those 2 or 0, none of those 2. Deep has got 100. Average of 180 is 90. Definitely taken social. This is 90, but one of these 2 he could have taken, or both he could have skipped. Isha, 95 and 55. Isha's thing is funny because there's 95 here, there's 55 here. So, but all 3 are different. So, Isha has definitely taken 4 exams. If you've taken 3 exams, then average of the best 2 will be the filled in number for 2 others. So, average of 3 of her numbers should be the 4th one. Fine. So this she has definitely taken 95, 85, 80. If these were the ones he has taken, then 60 cannot be the average of these three. Including 95 and two others, the average should be the final one. It's definitely not 95, 85, 80. That doesn't work. 95, 85, 60. Is that average 80? You have to think about that. 95 plus 85 plus 60. 95 plus 85 is 90 plus 90, 180 plus 60, 240. 240 by 3 is 80. Lovely. So this is be the average number. That means automatically the other combos won't work. Or this is 85. This is 60. So Isha has taken 4. Fani, average of 78 and 88 and 78 is 83. That means Fani could have taken English, could have taken social, or not taken both of them. And so, lovely. So we had to do some more calculation for Isha alone. For Isha, 95, 60, 85, average out to give 80. Therefore, we could fill that in. We fill this completely. Now let's come to the other 4 constraints which have been given. And so we've done all this. Then the final 4 statements. 4 of these students appeared in each of English, Hindi, Science and Social Science. So English, 4 have appeared. That means Isha and Fani have not appeared for this, which helps. Hindi, we have 4. That means Deep and Alba have not appeared for this. Science and social. Science, we have only 3. Social, we have only 3. So of these 3, some one here and one here, they have attended. So we'll come to that. Fine. Now let's look at the other constraint. This constraint. The student who missed the mathematics exam did not miss any other exam. That is very interesting. So Carl, only one student missed. That is Carl. Carl did not miss anything else. What does that mean? That means Carl attended. So the average of 100, 90 and 80 is 90. So Carl has attended social exam also. This simplifies social also for us. So 4 have taken social. This was not taken. This was not taken. So Fani attempted only 3. Isha attended 4. Carl attended 4. So Carl has attended 4. Fani has attended only 3. Isha has attended 4. Deep and Biti and Alva, we don't know yet. Fine. Lovely. So we've gone this far, which is wonderful. So we've used this. We've kind of broadly used this. One of the students who missed the Hindi exam did not miss any other exam. The other student who missed the Hindi examination also missed the science. So let's look at Hindi deeper. So Hindi been missed by Alva and Deep. One of these two missed science. The other did not miss. Funnily enough, both of these science is also empty. And so what does that mean? That means Alva could have missed Hindi and science, which means Deep would have attended science, or Alva could have missed Hindi only and attended science, right? Which means one of Alva and Deep attended science for sure. So for science, Carl, Isha and Fani attended the science exam. One of Alva and Deep attended the science exam. That means Biti missed the science exam. Biti missed science. Biti also missed social. Biti also attended only 3 exams. Final possibility, either Alva could have attended science or Deep could have attended science. One of these two is still open. So either Alva or Deep could have taken science. Which means after having taken everything into account, we fill everything here. It could either be a scenario where Alva attends the science exam and Deep does not, or Deep attends the science exam and Alva does not. Both of these possibilities exist. So after keeping everything in mind, we've completed the whole grid. We know exactly what exams were taken by Biti, Carl, Isha and Fani, which one they took, which one they skipped, on what basis the average was calculated, what was the average, what was the filled in number, everything we know. What we don't know is for Alva and Deep. Even for them, we know a lot. We know everything except that one of these two took science, the other did not take science. Lovely. So now I'm going to go to the questions. Who among the following did not appear for the math exam? Did not appear for the math exam. Only one, Carl. Done. Life is simple. Go to the next one. Which students did not appear for the English exam? English exam, Isha and Fani did not appear in both cases. Isha and Fani, done. Simple. What best can be concluded about the students who did not appear for Hindi exam? Did not appear. Hindi exam, Alva and Deep did not appear. Alva and Deep did not appear. There's no ambiguity. Alva and Deep did not appear for Hindi exam in both scenarios. There's only one ambiguity between Alva and Deep, who attended science and who didn't. Everything else we know. Right? So two among Alva, Deep and Isha. No, Alva and Deep did not attend science. Did not appear for the Hindi examination. That is Alva and Deep. What best can be concluded about the students who missed the science exam? Who missed the science exam? What do we know for sure? We know that Bysi missed the science exam. For sure. Okay? We know that it could have been either Deep or Alva. Bysi missed. It could have been Bysi and Alva or Bysi and Deep. That's the only ambiguity. Deep and Bysi and Alva and Bysi are possibilities, but we cannot say for sure. Bysi and one out of Alva and Deep is perfect. Either Bysi and Alva or Bysi and Deep. B and A or B and D. Lovely. How many out of the 6 students missed exactly one exam? How many missed exactly one? Carl missed exactly one. This we know for sure. Isha missed exactly one. This we know for sure. Carl misses only math. Isha misses only English. Those two we know for sure. Bysi missed 2. That we know for sure. Fani missed 2. This also we know for sure. So it finally boils down to Alva and Deep. One of them would have missed 2 and the other would have missed only 1. So in either case, we have Carl and Isha missing only one exam and one of Alva and Deep missing only one exam, or 3 totally. We cannot say which 3. We can say that these 2 missed only one exam. The final thing, it's either Alva or Deep who's missed only one exam. So 3 totally. For how many students can we be definite about which exams they missed? Fine. We know Bysi missed these 2. We know Carl missed only math. We know Isha missed only English. We know Fani missed English and social. For how many students can we be definite about which exams they missed? These 4. Only ambiguity we have is between Alva and Deep. One of them missed science also. The other missed only Hindi. So both of them missed Hindi. One of them missed science also. That is the only ambiguity. Therefore, we cannot know for Alva and Deep. The remaining 4, we do know for 4. Lovely set, very doable, nice and juicy. You put your head down and applied very normally. This should have been a set that should have been cracked. Election. In an election, several candidates contested for a constituency. Yeah, good election. In any constituency, the winning candidate was the one who polled the highest number of votes. Yeah. The first runner-up was the one who polled the second highest number of votes. Second runner-up was the one who polled third highest number of votes, and so on. Nothing new here. There are no ties in terms of number of votes polled by the candidates. Nice, simple. In any of the constituencies in this election. In an electoral system, a security deposit is a sum of money that a candidate is required to pay to the election commission before he or she is permitted to contest. This is true. You guys should know this. Only the defeated candidates, that is one who is not the winning candidate, who failed to secure more than 1/6 of the valid votes polled in the constituency, lose their security deposit. If you fail to secure more than 1/6, that is, if you don't get more than 1/6, then you lose your security deposit. But only the defeated candidates. And so you must lose and you must have failed to secure 1/6. So if you got less than 1/6, but you have won, then you get your deposit. That means if there's say 40 candidates and the maximum anyone polled is only 15% or 12%, and that guy won. If you win, and even if you have polled less than 1/6, if you have won the election, then you won. You are the best candidate. So obviously you can't forfeit your security deposit if you have won an election. So the security is lost out only if you are defeated. You have not won. If you have defeated and you've got 1/6 or lesser, then you forfeit your deposit. If you've got more than 1/6, even if you've lost, then more than 1/6 of the candidates, the people seem to like you. That means you've got something going for you. We don't lose your security deposit. Right? The following table provides some incomplete information about votes polled in 4 constituencies, A, B, C, and D in this election. Let's see that before we go further. A, there were 10 candidates. The total number of valid votes polled were 5 lakhs. The winning candidate got 2.75 lakhs. So he won by a massive margin. He won more than half the votes. First runner-up was 95,000. Second, third, we don't know. Constituency B, there are 12 candidates, 3,25,000. The winning candidate gets only 48,750. They're very small. So this guy is romping to power. That guy is squeezing in. Fine. And then nothing else is given. C, 6,30,000. 30 is like an unusual number and nothing else is given. D, we don't know how many are there. We don't know what the winning candidate got. The first runner-up got 37,500. Second one got 30,000. The third runner-up got 10%. And so this guy lost his deposit. 16.66% is 1/6. He is losing his deposit. That much we know. Lovely. Now let's go to what else is given. The following additional facts are known. The first runner-up polled 10,000 more votes than the second runner-up in constituency A. Lovely. That means the first runner-up got 95,000. Second one must have got 85,000. Life is simple. One data. I hope everything else is as easy as this. None of the candidates who contested in constituency C lost their security deposit. The difference in votes polled by any pair of candidates in this constituency was at least 10,000. Oh, this is very interesting. Very interesting. Nobody lost their security deposit. That means everybody got more than 1/6. Only 5 candidates. Each of them got more than 1/6. And 1/6 into 5 itself was 5/6. The margins must have been very tight. Even the 5th candidate has got more than 1/6. 1/6 of 6,30,000 we can find. That's a bare minimum. Each of the candidates has got more than this guy. There's not even a tie. That's very interesting. The difference in votes polled by any pair of candidates is at least 10,000. So we know what the minimum guy has got. That plus 10,000 is the minimum the guy above him has got. That plus 10,000 the minimum the guy above him has got, and so on. So not just it's a tightly contested election, tightly contested but spaced apart. It's not like getting X plus 1, X plus 2, X plus 3, and then X plus 75,000. They're almost equally spaced. So there could be something in the numbers there. Let's dig deeper into that. The winning candidate in constituency D polled 5% of the valid votes, more than that of the first runner-up. All the candidates who lost their security deposits while contesting for this constituency put together polled 35% of the valid votes. So this guy gets 37,500 plus 5% of total. And then there is this total that we don't know. Maybe call it total or T. This guy gets 37,500 plus 5%. That should give us something about D as well. That's it, nothing else. There are only 3 conditions. And constituency A, something about C, something about D. There's nothing given about B. Well, let's go step by step. I think this will be the juiciest. Number of candidates, 10. So we've just captured this data. Let's look at this. The first runner-up polled 10,000 more than the second runner-up. So the second runner-up got 85,000. That we know. Just using K to denote 1,000. So putting 3 zeros all the time. This number is not friendly. So I've used it as it is 6,30,000. And so very interesting. This guy has won a lot. So this is 170 plus 275. 275 plus 1, not 170, 180. So this is 455,000 already accounted for. So anybody coming below this, all of them put together have won only 45,000 votes. Out of 5 lakh, we've accounted for 4,55,000. Which is just the first 3. This is how typically elections are. As you go down, this says tail ends. Nobody wins too many votes. Lovely. Now let's move to the other juicy condition. So this is candidate C. 1/6 of this. And 1/6 of 6,30,000. 1/6 of 6 lakh is 1 lakh. 1/6 of 30 is 5. So the security deposit number is 1 lakh and 5. That's a security. I'm not saying that's a winner number. The security deposit number is 1 lakh and 5. Nobody lost their security deposit. That means everyone won more than 1 lakh 5. Beautiful. That's not the only thing. So we also know that among the 5 candidates, the gap between any 2 of them is at least 10,000. It's brilliant. So the least one, candidate 5, has got more than 1,05,000, or candidate 5 got greater than or equal to 1,06,000. And so I'm going to write it down like this. Why? Because candidate 4 is greater than or equal to 1,06,000 plus 10,000. At least 10,000 gap should be there. So if I write this like C5, C4, C3, C2, C1. This is X. This is X plus 10K. At least. This is X plus 20K. At least. This is X plus 30K. At least. This is X plus 40K. At least. So each of them is greater than or equal to this, greater than or equal to this, greater than or equal to this, greater than or equal to this. I find that very fascinating. Why? Because if you had X, that is 5X. That is nice and juicy. If you had 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K, that is 1 lakh. 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,000 plus 40,000 is 1 lakh. So 5X plus 1 lakh. Right? So, and that should add up, or each of them is more than at least this much. That comes up to 6,30,000. That I think my gut feel is we'll end up having a very narrow range for X, because X has to be more than 1,06,000. This has to be more than 1,06,000 plus 10,000, 1,06,000 plus 20,000, 1,06,000 plus 30,000, 1,06,000 plus 40,000. Brilliant. So this will give us, basically, add all of them up. So 1,06,000, 1,06,000 plus 10,000, 1,06,000 plus 20, 1,06,000 plus 30, 1,06,000 plus 40. So if I do C1 plus C2 plus C3 plus C4 plus C5, that is 5 times 1,06,000 plus 1 lakh. The 10,000 plus 20,000 plus 30,000 plus 40,000 is 1 lakh. The total should be greater than or equal to this. 5 times 1,06,000 is 5 lakhs 30 plus 1 lakh, or the total should be greater than or equal to 6 lakhs and 30. The total is 6 lakh 30. It has to be greater than or equal to 6 lakh 30. That means the total can only be 6 lakh 30. There's only one possibility. We're through. Originally when I thought there'll be 2 numbers only possible, 1,06,000 and 1,07,000, or 1,05,000 and 1,06,000, or 3 numbers, 5, 6 and 7, and then you do some permuting and figuring out and what is. Got very lucky. Only one number possible. So the least guy polls exactly 1 vote more. If he had got 1 vote lesser, he would have lost his security deposit. The bare minimum to get clear to not forfeit a security deposit, he gets it. The next guy scores exactly 10K more than that. The guy above him scores 10K more than this guy. Plus 10K plus 10K, it adds up to 6 lakh 30. The numbers are so tight, there's only one possibility there. The least guy who scores the least, gets 1,06,000. Then 1,10,006. The numbers are wrong. 1,10,006, 1,20,006, 30,006, 40,006. The zeros are a little shifted, but don't worry. With 1,10,006, 1,20,006, 1,30,006, 1,40,006. Done. We've got this entire table done for C. Only one possibility available there. Now let's move on to D. The winning candidate in constituency D polled 5% of the total votes, valid votes, more than that of the first runner. We got 37,500 plus 5% of total. All the candidates who lost their security deposits polled 65% of the valid votes. Runner-up 2 onwards, everybody lost their security deposit. This downwards, everybody lost their security deposit. And now we could have a wonderful scenario where only all of these lost, these 3 retained, or even this guy could have lost, and everybody else retains. So all of these definitely lost, or even runner-up 2 could have lost, or even runner-up 1 could have lost. I'm already sensing that runner-up 1 also losing is not possible, because this guy scored just 5% more. And these 2 add up to 65%. So I'm going to eliminate something and then come back to this. Let's assume, hypothetically, that runner-up 2 also lost his security deposit. So from here onwards, adds up to 35%. That means the remaining, these 2, add up to 65% of the total votes. 5% goes off, or 37.5K plus 37.5K adds up to 60%. Or 37,500 is 60%. Or 37,500 is 30%. Or 30,000 will be 25%, 24%, somewhere there. That cannot have lost a security deposit. Or the scenario where from runner-up to everybody loses, that is wrong. Runner-up to retains it. All three retain it. From here downwards goes for a toss. Let's do the math for that. That means 37.5K plus 5% of total plus 37.5K plus 30K. These three add up to 65%. First three retain their deposit. Everyone else after that loses. 37.5 plus 37.5 is 75K. Plus 30 is 105K. This 5% goes that side. Or 105K is equal to 60% of total. 37.5 plus 37.5 plus 5% of total plus 30K is 65% of total. This 5% goes this side, becomes 60%. Or total is 105,000 into 100 by 60 or into 5 by 3 is 35. 35 into 5, 175K. The total is 175K. 5% of total is whatever it is. So 37.5K plus 5% of 175K is what the winner gets, which is 46.25K. 5% of 175K is 5 by 100 into 175,000. So 5 5 are 25, 5 2, 37, 7 3, 8750. 8750 plus 37,500 takes us to 46.25K. 46250. So now we've got the total number of votes polled in D, what the winner got, what runner-up 1 got, runner-up 2 got, what all of them put together got, what this guy got, everything we've got. Complete data. We've got a reasonably full data on C and D. We've got sufficient amount on A. Let's look at B. And very interesting. B is very interesting. 325,000 votes were polled. The guy who won got 48.75. And so what is 1/6 of 325? 1/6 of 300 is 50,000. 1/6 of 325 is more than 50,000. So this guy has got less than 1/6 the vote. We've got a scenario which we discussed where you might win with less than 1/6 the votes. This guy has won with less than 1/6 of the votes. That means everybody below him has lost their security deposit. Everybody below has got less than 1/6. This guy, the guy who won, has got less than 1/6. That guy can't lose his security deposit. He's won. The guy who wins can get any number of votes and he'll still have his deposit. There are 10,000 guys contesting and there are 11,000 seats. So the guy can technically win by getting 3 votes or 2 votes. Fine. So that 11,000 votes, 3 votes and he can win. So that is nothing as a share of overall. But if you win, then your security deposit is retained. And so this guy does not lose his security deposit. Everyone else, they've lost and polled less than 1/6. They're all out. Fine. Lovely. Now let's go to the right here. What are the percentage of votes polled in total by all the candidates who lost their security deposits while contesting for constituency A? We did this math already. Add these 3. 5, 15, 8, 17, 25, 5, 2. 455,000 has been accounted for, or 45,000 is remaining. 45,000 out of 500,000 is what everybody else added up to. Percentage of votes polled in total by all the candidates. So all candidates below this, leaving out the top 3, remaining 7 candidates put together polled 45,000 votes out of 500,000. That is a percentage. 45 by 500 into 100. 45 by 5, 9%. Yep, it was. How many candidates who contested in constituency B lost their security deposit? Discuss this. This guy doesn't lose. He is 1. Everybody else loses. So this guy doesn't lose. So out of 12, 1 candidate won. That much we know. A remaining 11, they all lost. And they all polled less than 1/6. So 11 guys lost their deposit. What best can be concluded about the number of votes polled by the winning candidate in constituency? So this is 1,40,006. The exact answer. We've done this iteratively, brilliantly. The least candidate got 1,06,006. 1,10,006, 1,20,006, 1,30,006, 1,40,006. One beautiful, unique answer. Only one answer. 1,40,006. What are the number of valid votes polled in constituency D? Got this. 175,000. Done. The winning margin of a constituency is defined as the difference of votes polled by the winner and that of the first runner-up. Which of the following cannot be the list of constituencies in increasing order of winning margin? Increasing order of winning margin. First of all, winning margin for A is huge, gigantic. 275,000 minus 95,000. So just 180,000. A has got to be the last. Okay, that part is done. Easy inference, therefore it doesn't help us at all. These two winning margins we can find. For C, the winning margin is 10,000. For D, the winning margin, we calculated this, it's 5%. 5 by 100 into 175,000. 8750. So we're looking at increasing order of winning margin. That means that D is less than C. And everything is less than A. And so that much we know. It could be B here, B here, B here, that we don't know. D less than C less than A, we know. Right? And A is greater than everything else. Now B, 1 by 48.75. Maybe we can find 11 candidates remaining. Even if all of them got equal, that will be the scenario where the difference will be maximum. So we can find that 325 minus 48.75 divided by 11. We can find out if all of them got an equal number of votes. Not equal, but plus or minus something, 1 vote, 2 vote. We can find the ballpark for that. 325 minus 50 is 275. 275 by 11. 275 is 25. So the maximum difference would be in the ballpark of 25,000. The minimum difference could be 3, 4, anything. And so it could be slightly lower, that will still work. There's nothing wrong. I can do the math work after that. The maximum difference could be 24,000, 25,000, 23, 24,000. So I can technically have D here, B here, or B here also. That's tricky. I'm not able to place B anywhere. Let's look at the choices. BDCA, yeah, it seems possible. DBCA should be possible. DCBA should be possible. BCDA, this is not possible. We know D is less than C. BCDA is not possible. We need not even have evaluated where B would sit. All we need to know is D is less than C. This doesn't work. Which of the following cannot be the list of constituencies in increasing order of winning margin? This cannot be it. BCDA cannot be an order in which this can appear. For all the 4 constituencies taken together, what is the approximate number of votes polled by all the candidates who lost their security deposit, expressed as a percentage of total valid votes from these 4 constituencies? Total valid votes we have clearly. That we can add up. How much was polled by candidates who lost their security deposit? In A, we've already calculated this, 45K. And so in B, we want an approximate answer to start with. Except this guy, everybody else lost their deposit, security deposit. That I can find out. So 325K minus 48.75K. 325K minus 48.75K. This is 0.25. 14 minus 8 is 6. 11 minus 4 is 7. 276.25. Lovely. D, everyone, in C, everyone got their security deposit back. That is 0. In D, it is 35% of 175K. And so 35% of 175K. I have to find the number. So 35 by 100 times 175,000. 35 5s are 175, 5 7, 35 7s are 245, 252, 225, 60250, 60.25k. This is the largest number, 276.25, and then 60.25, 45. I'm going to add these three numbers, 276.25, 60.25, 45. The 0.5 sitting here, 5 plus 6, 11, 1, 1, 8, 14, 18, 8, 1, 381.5. That is the total number of votes polled by guys who lost their deposit. Right? And then what is the percentage of total valid votes? Total valid votes is 500, 325, 600, 175. Let's add all of that. 381.5, I know I have. I have 500. Just go back and look at these numbers. 325, 600, 325, 600, 175. This is 0, 0, 1, 6, 9, 15, 16. 381.5 by 1600 into 100. This is the percentage we're looking for. 381.5 by 16. 381 by 16. I'm going to do this. Let me do the whole thing. Goes 2 times. 32. 61. Goes 3 times. 48. 130. It'll go 8 times 128. So 23.8 something, not 23.5. 23.91 is closer because we made some 1 to tiny approximation. This works. Of course, this becomes far simpler if you have a calculator just to help you doing the mathematics part of it, but not rocket science. Once you've done the whole grid, then answering this question should be a sitter. And so, very doable set. The crucial part is cracking that C. A, B, D are simpler. Cracking C and figuring out that for C, actually after all the guff, there is only one possibility that sits for number of words. That's like a breakthrough. Sit in the exam, you get a feeling of relief. You check it one more time to say, yeah, only one. Then you're good. The moment you crack that funda, you're saying, look, I'm nailing this and should get it right. Friends and strangers, friends, acquaintances and strangers. I found this to be incredibly tough in the moment, solving there. Now I made series of mistakes. Tried to put together a solution which should be reasonable to follow, but I must confess that I made a mess of this. Right. Anyway, let's start with this. Amudha, Bharatan, Chandran, Dhinesh, Ezhil, Fani and Gowtham. That is A, B, C, D, E, F and G. 7 people. Are 7 people in a town. Any pair of them could either be strangers, acquaintances or friends. All relationships are mutual. So if A and B are friends, A is B's friend, B is A's friend. So we don't have an issue where I think I'm his friend, but he doesn't think like that. All relationships are mutual. For example, if Amudha is a friend of Bharatan, then Bharatan is also a friend of Amudha. Similarly, if Amudha is a stranger to Bharatan, then Bharatan is also a stranger to Amudha. So there's no ghosting happening here. Partial information about the number of friends, acquaintances and strangers of each of these people among them is given in the table below. Nice. So far so good. So Amudha has 1 acquaintance and 4 strangers. Amudha should have a relationship with 6 people. So 1 acquaintance and 4 strangers, that means it should be 1. Each of these rows should add up to 6. Right. So this is 2, this is 3, this should be 1. Gowtham has a relationship with 6 people. 3 plus 2 is 5. This is 1, 6. The rest I don't think we can fill. Obviously, this is not the only piece of jigsaw. There should be more that's available. Let's see what else is given. The following additional facts are also known. Amudha, Bharatan and Chandran are mutual strangers, which helps. Amudha, Dhinesh and Fani are Ezhil's friends. Chandran and Gowtham are friends. Every friend of Amudha is an acquaintance of Bharatan, and every acquaintance of Bharatan is a friend of Amudha. Every friend of Bharatan is an acquaintance of Amudha, and every acquaintance of Amudha is a friend of Bharatan. Both just the same, flipped 2 ways. I think just a bit to throw us off our game a little bit. So let's fill in whatever we know. Amudha, Bharatan and Chandran are mutual friends. I followed an approach where I thought I would draw links 2 ways, establishing friends, strangers and acquaintances at different forms of straight lines and curved lines and dotted lines. It became too confusing in the exam hall. and then shift it to the table approach. What am I going to do? I'm going to say Amudha, Bharatan and Chandran are mutual strangers. For Amudha, Bharatan and Chandran are strangers. So let's put B and C here. For Bharatan, Amudha and Chandran are strangers, A and C. For Chandran, Amudha and Bharatan are strangers, A and B. Nice. Amudha, Dhinesh and Fani are Ezhil's friends. So Ezhil's friends are A, D, F. Every time I put an entry, I'll put a corresponding entry. E and A are friends. A is E's friend. E is A's friend. E and D are friends. So D and D are friends. E and F are friends. F and E are friends. This helps. Chandran and Gowtham are friends. So C and G, G and C. But it really helps us simplify, because once we mark this out, the next thing that we can do is say, hey, all the friends have been accounted for, all friends have been accounted for, only 1, 1. So Fani is not friends with anybody apart from Ezhil. Gowtham is not friends with anybody apart from Chandran. So we can close this out, not worry about this anymore. Right? We filled this much, and then we'll try to keep adding layer after layer to this, include this. Both of these are practically the same constraint, include this, and then tweak this around. Right? So far so good, we've done all of this. Every acquaintance of Amudha is an acquaintance of Bharatan, and every acquaintance of Bharatan, every friend of Amudha is an acquaintance of Bharatan, and every acquaintance of Bharatan is a friend of Amudha. So to start with, this E should come here. This one should be 1, this should be 1, this is 4. So the numbers have to mirror each other. Right? This is useful because now Amudha has 1 friend, done. Bharatan has 1 friend, which is not A, which is not C, because A and C are accounted for here, which is not E, because E is an acquaintance. We have D, F, G remaining. F and G have been accounted for, or Bharatan's friend, the 1 friend that Bharatan has is D. So once we put a D here, we should put a B here. Lovely. So this D sits here. So super helpful because we have now knocked this off, knocked this off, knocked this off, knocked this off completely. Right? Let's build on this. So B should be friends with D. This implies D should be friends with B as well. So this is a D goes here, B goes here. This will be D, and A would sit here. Nice, wonderful. Let's see if we can build further on this. So this automatically means we can fill out the 4 numbers here. A is friends with E and D. With the other 4, he should be acquaintances. B, C, F, G. So F and G we can put. So on both F and G, we have to add A. B is acquaintance strangers with A and C, and then D and D get accounted for. Once again F and G. So A, C, F, G. So this should be B, this should be B. That means this is accounted for completely. Gowtham has only 2 people who are strangers to him, that is A and B. Gowtham has 1 person who is friend with him, that is C. So A, B, C are accounted for. D, E, F are acquaintances. So I'm going to put D, E, F. So D and G are acquaintances. So this should be G. E and G are acquaintances. There should be a G here. F and G are acquaintances. There should be a G here. Nice. So this is 2 here, 2 here. That number 2 is there. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. That means this is complete. Put a number 2 here. This is complete. Put a number 2 here. A, B are accounted for. E, G are accounted for. C and F remain. So put C, F here. This 2 is also accounted for. I've put C and F here. So in C I should put D. In F again I should put D. Lovely. So A, B, D go there. So this is complete. This is complete. This is complete. This is complete. A, D, F and B, G are here. A, B, E is already accounted for. D, F, G, A, D, F, B, G are there. C is not accounted for, so there goes a C here. If C is here, then E should be here. So now this is completely accounted for. This should be 2, this should be 3, this is done, this is done. A, B, D, E, that makes it 4. This is 1, this is 1. A, B, D, E are accounted for. A, B, C, D, E are done. G is covered. F is missing. So this should be F. If this is F, there should be a C here. So this is accounted for. This is accounted for. This is accounted for. A is complete. B is complete. C is complete. D is complete. E is complete. F is also complete. This is 2. This is 3. Which must mean G is also complete. This is complete. This is complete. So we fill the entire grid out. It seems swimmingly easy. It was not at all this easy in the context and pressure of an examination thing. So the way of mapping here, we put A and E, then automatically we should put E and A. Every relationship is mutual. So you put A, B, one link, put B in front of A, mix with A, then A should go with B. So put them together like that, then it should get simplified. So inch by inch, so just a quick recap. So B, C, F, G are strangers to A, C, F, G are strangers to B. So F and G here, F and G here, which automatically means A and B here, A and B here, which means this is complete. A, B, C are done. This is D, E, F here. If this D, E, F here, in D we put a G, in E we put a G, in F we put a G, which means this is, these two add up to 2, 2, 2, complete. A, B, C is missing, D, E, G, C and F. This should be C and F. C and F go here, so in C there should be a D, in F there should be a D. And then we complete slowly. Now who C's acquaintance F? Now we have completed the grid. Once we complete the grid, answering question should be pretty straightforward. Who are Gowtham's acquaintances? D, E, F. Dhinesh, Ezhil and Fani. Which of these pairs share the same type of relationship? Bharatan, Chandran, B, C are strangers. Dhinesh, Ezhil, D, E are friends. So not this. Chandran and Ezhil, C, E are strangers. Dhinesh and Gowtham, D, G are acquaintances. Not this. Amudha and Gowtham are strangers. E and F, Ezhil and Fani are friends, not this. Bharatan and Ezhil, B and E are acquaintances. Fani and Gowtham, F and G are acquaintances. This work. Both are acquainted. Once you've got the whole table, just looking at that and answering the question. Very doable. Who is an acquaintance of Amudha? D, Dhinesh. Done. Who is an acquaintance of Chandran? Chandran's acquaintance F, Fani. Done. How many friends does Ezhil have? Ezhil has 3 friends, A, D, F. Again, simple. How many people are either a friend or a friend of Ezhil? Friend is A, D, F. That's in the bag. A's friend is E. B's friend is D. And F's friend is E again. So how many are either a friend or a friend of Ezhil? Ezhil has 3 friends, A, D, F. A has E as a friend, B has D as a friend, F has E as a friend. So friend or friend of a friend. Give me a second. Of Ezhil. Ezhil has 3 friends, A, D, F. A has E. A has E. D has B. And F has E. So A, D, F and B. I made this beautiful mistake and I counted E also. And I said A, D, F, E, B. That doesn't work. Friend or a friend of a friend. That means I shouldn't be counting the person himself. So I marked 5 for this because I counted A, D, F, B, alright, and I counted E also because there's an E sitting here and an E sitting here. So I counted E as a friend of E, which is rather silly. So I should have counted only 4. The answer is 4. Pulak, Qasim, Ritesh and Suresh participated in a tournament comprising 8 rounds. In each round they formed 2 pairs, with each of them being in exactly 1 pair. The only restriction in the pairing was that the pairs would change in successive rounds. So in round 1 if P and Q play, round 2 P and Q cannot play. For example, if Pulak formed a pair with Qasim in the first round, then he would have to form a pair with Ritesh or Suresh in the second round. Okay. He would be free to pair with Qasim again in the third round. That's fine. In each round, each pair decided whether to play the game in that round or not. If they decided not to play, then no money was exchanged between them. If they decided to play, they had to bet either 1 or 2 in that round. For example, if they chose to bet 2, then the player winning the game got 2 rupees from the one losing the game. So 2 people play the game. It could be either +2 -2, +1 -1, or no money exchanged. That's usually the status of the game. They can say, look, I'm not playing, 0. At the beginning of the tournament, the players had rupees 10 each. The following table shows partial information about the amount that the players had at the end of the 8 rounds, at the end of each of the 8 rounds. Right? It shows every time a player had rupees 10 at the end of a round, as well as every time at the end of a round, a player had either the minimum or the maximum amount that he would have had across the 8 rounds. Right? Let's look at this table. Pulak says 13, 10, 13, 8, 10, 10, 12, 10, 4, 10, 8, 10, 13, 10. Some numbers have been filled. What we have here is each round, if it was 10, we would have the information. If it is the maximum that player has got across 8 rounds, we'll have that information. If it is the minimum the player has got across 8 rounds, we'll have that information. All 3 will have. For example, Suresh had rupees 10 at the end of rounds 1, 3 and 8 and not after any of the other rounds. All the 10 rupee rounds we'll know. All the maximum ones we'll know. All the minimum ones we'll know. The maximum amount that he had at the end of any round was 13 at the end of round 5 and the minimum he had was at 8 at the end of round 8. 10, 10, 10, 8, 13. 13 is the maximum, 8 is the minimum. At the end of all other rounds, he must have had either 9, 11 or 12. Between 12 and 8 and not 10. It was also known that Pulak and Qasim had the same amount of money with them at the end of round 4. X and X, that's what we have put. Rest of the information is already available. We know this is X and X. We know X is not 10. That much we know. Because if it were 10, we would have got the information. X is not 13 either. X is not 8 or 12. 8 is the minimum, 12 is the maximum. It's either 9 or 11. One of these two. Not 10. It's 9 or 11. That much we know. Right? Let us fill the maximum and minimum first. This is max. This is the maximum. 10 happens to be the minimum. Okay. This is the minimum. This is the maximum. 10, 10. This is 10 itself is the maximum. 4 is the minimum. 13 is the max. 8 is the minimum. Right. At each round, at the beginning, each of them had 10, 10, 10, 10. At each round, the total should be the same 40. Why? Money goes from one person to another. If one case increases, another case decreases. Total should be 40. Using that, we can say 10 plus 10, 20, 28. This is 12. 13 plus 8, 21, 31. This is 9. 10, 10, 20, 13, 7. These numbers we can fill. And so the maximum and minimum we can fill. We can fill the obvious numbers up. 12, 9, 7. Got so far. Right? Then what can we do after this? What can we say about x? Right, so x is more than 10. How do we know it's more than 10? We don't know it's more than 10. It could be less than 10 also. This is x. This is x. X could be 9 or 11. And so, but 10 is the minimum, so it cannot be 9. And x cannot be 12 because 12 is the maximum here. If it were 12, we would have had 12. Or x has to be 11. Nice, brilliant. So we can just put 11 and 11. So this is 11, 11. Nice, so far so good. From 11, 11, we've gone to 10, 10. Both these fellows have lost. 11 became 10, 11 became 10. So in round 5, both lost. That means in round 5, these two fellows should have won. And they should have won 1 rupee, 1 rupee each. Or this is 6, this is 12. Nice. So we've got round 1 completely done, round 2 completely done, round 4 completely done, round 5 completely done. Round 3 we need to figure out something. Round 6, 7, 8 we need to figure out. Nice. Let's go to round 7, because we can come from here. This is the maximum, 12. This is 4. 12 plus 4 is 16. The other two add up to 24. That's a high number. This could be 12 or 11 or 9. It cannot be 10, that we know. But if it were 9, this has to be 15. But 13 is the maximum. So it's either 12 or 11, not more than that. This were 12, this will have to be 12. 12 plus 12, 24. If it was 11, it has to be 13. And so this number, this is these two adding up to 16. The other two should add up to 24. This is either 12 or 11. This should be either 12 or 13. It cannot be 13. 13 is the maximum. It can maximum be 12. It cannot be 13. This were 12. 12 plus 12, 24. Plus 4, 28. Should be 12. Nice. So we fill this also. 12, 12, 4, 12. This is the minimum. 12 goes to 10. 12 goes to 13. And then we figure out the rest. Nice. We can even figure out round 8 now. How so? Let's say this increases by 1. This decreases by 2. One of these two should decrease. This increases by 1. So we should have 1 falling by 1. That decreases by 2. Increasing by 2. This is the minimum. So this should become 6. This is the maximum. It should become 11. 13 plus 11, 24 plus 6, 30, 40. Lovely. So we got round 1, round 2, round 4, round 5, round 7, round 8. We need to figure out only rounds 3 and 6. Out of the 8 rounds, 6 are in the bag. Nice. Round 6. Think about round 6. Nothing is filled in. Maybe we'll have some joy here. Right? Round 3, 3 gaps are there. 1 is going up. So this is going up by 2. One of these has to go down by 2. Right? We can come to that. We'll come and sit on that. Let's think about round 6 now for the time being. And so 7 goes to 4. So it's going to be down and down. Right? 13 goes to 12. Can we go to 11 and then 12, or go to 12 and then stay at 12? It is not 13. Because then the maximum would have been given. It's either 12 or 11. Right? Likewise, this is either 5 or 6. Right? 10 goes to 12. 10 can stay at 10 and come to 12. That's not possible because 10 would have been given. 10 can go to 12 and stay at 12. That's not possible because 12 is the maximum. Or this means this one should have been 11. It cannot be less than 10 because you're going to 12 the next step. Either 10, that's not possible, or 12, that's not possible, or 11. 11 is the one that's possible. 10, 11, 12. 10 could be again 11, 12, or 12, 12. 13 is the maximum. This is 11 or 12. This is 6 or 5. This is 11 or 12. Nice. Nice. This is plus 1. So there's 1 victory here, 1 loss. It could be a victory here and a loss here, or this cannot be a loss. So this was a victory, win and loss. Can these two have been drawn? Can be 10 and 13. That's not possible. So this here should be a loss, and this here should be a win. 10 going to 11 is a possibility. That means 2 victories. Put at 11. This is plus 1. This is plus 1. It should be minus 1, 6. Minus 1, 12. That means next round 11 goes to 12. 11 goes to 12. 6 goes to 4, 12 stays as 12. That's not possible. If one number stays as it is, there's got to be one more number that stays as it is. That's not happening. So this is not possible. So this doesn't go to 11. This goes to 12. This is plus 2. This is plus 1. This should become 5, offsetting that plus 2. This stays as it is. This should be 12. So it should be 12, 11, 5, 12. 12 stays as 12, 12 stays as 12. That would have been a draw. 10 becomes 11, 7 becomes 5. So 11 becomes 12, 5 becomes 4. This is the win and loss. That works perfectly. This is plus 2, minus 2, plus 1, minus 1. That works. So we filled round 6 also, which is 12, 11, 5, 12. Brilliant. Let's go here. Suresh won and Pulak and Ritesh lost. Suresh won. You're saying here this is the win. Ritesh lost, that's for sure. Pulak, this is the maximum, so this is a loss here. So there's a win, loss, loss. 2 losses. This should have been a win. Okay. This goes to either 11 or 12. If it goes to 12, let's say this goes to 12. Okay. Then there's a 12 going to 11 here, 10 going to 12 here. 2 losses, plus 2, minus 2. This should have become a 7, this should have become 11. This is plus 2. This is plus 2, this is also plus 2. So minus 2 and minus 2. Nice. 11 stays as 11, 12 stays as 12 becomes 11, 7 becomes 6, 10 becomes 12. This is an issue. This can't happen like this. If this were 12, 10 going to 12, then this is a plus 2, this is a plus 2. There are 2 plus 2, there should be 2 minus 2s. If that were the case, then this stays the same. This is down 1, up 2. That's not possible. One score alone cannot stay the same. This is not the case, which means this should have been 11. This is a plus 2. This is a plus 1. We should have a minus 1 and a minus 2. So either this goes to 11 and that goes to 8. Or this goes to 12 and that goes to 7. It goes to 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. That works. That is the only scenario possible because this is 11, 11. There's definitely an increase there. This is the right answer. This is what we are going with. Because 10 goes to 11, 11 stays as 11. One more should stay at this. This has to be 11, 11, 8, 10. We are through. We should add the matchups as well. Matchups are more straightforward. First game, P and Q play, R and S play because it's up, down, up and up. 10 goes to 10 and 8, 8 and 10. So P versus R, Q versus S, that fills there. Minus 2, plus 2, plus 1, minus 1. P versus S, R versus Q, that we have filled in. Next one, these two stay as it is, P versus Q, R versus S. We have filled this also. With that we can fill the remaining. Would Q play in round 7? P versus S, Q versus R, we can fill from bottom onwards. This we've already filled 12, 5 and 12. Already filled this. This is the whole grid. Again, super tough set. I had a real tough time, super tough time trying to get a handle on this. Every single element was tricky. Putting everything together, filling this up finally, and grappling with the numbers, thinking about a plus 1 offsetting a minus 1, plus 2 offsetting a minus 2. Where could it be? 0, 0. Incredibly tough. I had a tough whole time. I had a tough time putting these two as 11 and 11, which in hindsight I shouldn't have had. This is more than 10 that I know because the minimum is 10. It cannot be 12, so I should have put 11 and 11 straight up. If this were being filled as 11 and 11, those two get filled. They get filled. I can fill 1, 2 easily, 4, 5 easily, 7, 8 easily. Then I should have gone to the remaining rows. I missed that trick, but super tough, super tough. Question should be straightforward. Amount of money that Ritesh had with him at the end of round 8. Round 8, Ritesh 6 rupees. Done. Amount of money Pulak had with him at the end of round 6. Pulak round 6. 12, exactly 12. Done. Ritesh at the end of round 4. Ritesh round 4, 6 rupees. How many games were played with a bet of 2 rupees? And in first round there was 1. P versus Q, 1. P versus Q, this is the one. In round 2, P versus R is 1 rupee. Q versus S, that is 2 rupees. In round 3, P versus S is 2 rupees. R versus Q is 1 rupee. In round 4, P versus Q, nothing, they didn't play at all. R versus S is -2 plus 2, 4. Round 5, +1, +1, -1, -1, both 1 rupee games. +2, -2, P versus R. Here, these two didn't play, those two played with 1 rupee each, that doesn't count. 12 becomes 13, 12 becomes 11, 4 becomes 6, 6 becomes 12, 4, 6, this one, which is R versus S, is 2 rupee game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The total number of games, 6 of them were 2 rupee games. Which of the following pairings was made in round 5? Round 5, P versus S, Q versus R, P versus... In a coaching class, some students register online and some others register offline. This one struck home very close by to our own business. Okay. No student registers both online and offline, which is nice. Hence, the total registration number is the sum of online and offline. So it's not like a set theory puzzle, but it's an online intersection offline. That's not happening. The following facts and table pertain to these registration numbers for the 5 months, January to May of 2023. The table shows the minimum, maximum and median registration numbers of these 5 months. Separately for online, offline and total number of registrations. For all, we have the median, maximum and minimum. The following additional facts are known. In every month, both online and offline registration numbers were multiples of 10. Very nice, happy, multiples of 10, beautiful. In January, the number of offline registrations was twice that of online registration. In April, the number of online registration was twice that of offline registration. I think first we should need to look at the table. Minimum, maximum, median for offline, online, offline and total. And so, minimum was 40 here, maximum was 100, median is 80. Minimum is 30 to 80, median is 50. So it looks like online numbers are slightly higher than offline numbers per se. For this, the minimum is 110, maximum is 130, median is 120. And so, first thing to note that these two minimums are not adding up to this. These two maximums are not adding up to this. So usually it happens. And so the person who got the minimum in this need not have been the person who got the minimum in this. If you're looking at scores, I'm thinking in terms of CAT scores, Quant, LRDI, VRC and all that, or the month where we saw minimum online intake need not have been the month which you saw minimum offline intake. It doesn't have to add up. In this case, it clearly doesn't add up. And so, first cut in the data, what kind of drew me was like, hey, this all seems interesting, but this is 110, 130, 120, bunched together. So telling us that whenever offline was bad, online was good and vice versa. And so, this is very close. And typically, the range of the cumulative thing is broader. This goes from 40 to 100, 30 to 80. That goes from 110 to 130, bunched together. And lovely. Now let's attack this. Both online and offline registration numbers are multiples of 10. We've got this. In January, offline registrations were twice online registrations. So if online were X, offline would be 2X. In April, online registrations were twice of offline registrations. This were Y, this would be 2Y. Online registration just March is equal to offline registration in February. Online March is equal to offline in February. So this were P, this would be P. The number of online registrations was the largest in May. Online maximum May. Online maximum is 100. So this is 100. Nice, we put some basic data inside, and then we'll work on these. And so the total numbers are 110, 120, 130. Only those three numbers are possible. Let's tweak this. And what's very interesting, and it's a beautifully crucial point for this entire set, is hey, we add this up. We say this is 3x. we add this up and we say this is 3y. The multiple of 10 should be a multiple of 10. So multiple of 3 or the total number. Straight away get the total number because the total number can only be 110, 120 or 130. 110 and 130 are not possible. So this is 120. This is 120. So this is 40 and 80. This is 80 and 40. So we're rocking. You just fill all this data in. 40 and 80, 80 and 40. Lovely. Now the total maximum is 130. Online is 100 in May. Think about this. This is, if this were 130, this would be 30. If 120, this will be 20. So 110, this will be 10. But if you pause and think about it, the minimum number offline is 30. This is 100. Minimum is 30. It should be more than or equal to 130. This cannot be more than 130. Or this has to be 130. And this is 30. We've got this far. These two are equal, P and P. So now we look at the median idea. And so 130, the median for offline numbers is 50. Median for online numbers is 80. So there's already a 30 and a 40 here. 50 is more than 30 and 40. So if one of the numbers is 50, the other number is greater than or equal to 50. Either we could have two 50s or 50 and 60, 50 and 70, some combo. One of these two numbers is definitely 50 and the other one is greater than or equal to 50. 50 and higher are these two numbers. Right? Now, here 40, 80, 100. So 100 and 80 are already there. The one number is below 40, another number is, one number is below 80, another number is above 80. So you can have one number which is above 80, one below 80. And so 90 and 40, 90 and 60 are all possible. Or one number equal to 80 is also possible. Even then the median would still be the middle term. And so this tells us that one of these two fellows is 50. One of these two is 50. And the other we'll have to figure out it's greater than or equal to 50. The other way of thinking about this is to say, in this, one number could be more than 80, one less than 80, or one equal to 80 and the other one either way. Right? So there are more possibilities here, fewer here, so I'm going to attack that. I'm going to say, of these two numbers, the offline numbers in Feb and March, one of the two has to be 50, the other one is greater than or equal to 50. So you can say, hey, either this is equal to 50, in which case this will be 50, or this is 50 and this is greater than 50, because equal to 50 would have already accounted for, and these two being equal. So two threads or parts we have. I'm going to fill both of them. 50, 50, or this is 50, this is greater than 50 and this is equal to P. Nice, lovely. Now let's think about this. Now if this is an easier set because 5 numbers are filled in. So this is 40, 50, 80, 100. The median is 80. So this number should be greater than or equal to 80. It cannot be greater than 80 because then this will become more than 130. It's not possible. So put this as equal to 80. This makes this 130 total. 130, 120, 120, 130. This has to be 110. It's greater or equal to 50, can be 60. This median is 50. This median is 80. Overall median is 120, 110 to 130, 40 to 100, 30 to 80. Everything is satisfied. We're very happy. Right? And then we look at this and say greater than 50. This both of them being equal. Then this is 50. Right? This is greater than 50. Let's say this is hypothetically 60. And this is 60. 60 plus 50 is 110. So far so good. Now this is 60. If you take 40, 60, 80, 100, this number should be at least 80. Even if you put it 80, 80 plus 60 is 140, not possible. So this cannot be 60. Right? So this makes me think, so this cannot be 60, maybe we'll put 70 there. 60 doesn't work, maybe we'll put 70 there. I mean this will be 70, 70 plus 50 is 120. this should be maximum 130, this should be 60. 60 or lesser. If you put a 60, 40, 60, 70, 80, 100, not possible. Not possible. And so this number cannot be more than 80. And so now I'm getting somewhere. So I'm going to make an inference here, jump at this and say, hey, I'm going to look at this number. Oopsie. This is greater than 50, that should be less than 80. If this is less than 80, this should be 80 or more. This is less than 80, then two numbers less than 80, then this number should be greater than or equal to 80. It cannot be greater than 80 because then this will become more than 130. The only possibility is P equal to 80. This is greater than 50, this should be less than 80. Both of them add up to maximum 130. Greater than 50 should be less than 80. If this is greater than 50 and that's 80 or more, will add up to more than 130. That's not possible. This is less than 80. Two numbers less than 80. 180. One number more than 100. This has to be at least 80. Otherwise, my median won't be 80. If this were more than 80, this will become more than 130. Only possibility is this is equal to 80. This is equal to 80. This adds up to 130. All good. So 130, 130, 130, 130, 120, 120. This should add up to 110. This should become 30. Except this can't be 30 because online minimum is 40. So this is just not possible. This entire possibility simply cannot exist. Only possibility is for the Feb offline number to be equal to the March online number to be equal to 50. That's the only possibility. Both of them being 50. That works. We plonk it in and get out of there. That's the only possibility. So this is our final tally. What are the total number of registrations in April? 120, good to go. What are the number of online registrations in January? Online January, 40, done, good to go. Which of the following statements can be true? Which of them could be true? The number of offline registrations was the smallest in May. Yeah, that is true. Offline 30, smallest, true. 1 is true. The total number of registrations was the smallest in February. No, that's not true. The smallest in March. February was 130, highest. So only 1. What best can be concluded about the number of offline registrations in February? Offline in February is 50. It says 30 or 50 or 80. No, 80. No, 50 or 80. No, only 50. Done. True. Which pair of months definitely had the same total number of registrations? It will be Jan and April, Feb and May. Jan and April, Feb and May, both 1 and 2. Jan and April both had 120, Feb and May both had 130. Placed 1 in the first and last year of existence, 1 and 1. Wherever first and last year there, I'm putting 1 and 1. Zygu is 2012 to 15. Cxqi is 13, but we don't know when it ended. I put till 17, maybe 18, 19 is also there. D 11 to 15 and E 2010. Why I put the years is that some of the questions speak to years. Maybe I just had a glimpse of the questions. They're talking about 2013 numbers, 14 numbers. Otherwise I would have thought about each company's cycle, but the actual year also matters. And so a bunch of things to think about here. If you think about each company, we can interpret the data. And A has been around for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And so this is definitely an increase from 2009 to 10. 10 to 11 should have been an increase. Should have been an increase. Going higher, higher, higher. Then this should have been coming down to 1. Should have also been coming down. I don't know whether it again increased 2 years or increased 1 year, decreased 1 year or decreased 2 years. I can sense that it couldn't have increased for 6 years and decreased only for 2. It doesn't work. Or 5 and 2 doesn't work. So the first 3 year, some 3 year increase, chances are some 3 year decrease. The middle one alone could go either way. And so it looks like the first 2 years definitely are going up. The next 2 are going down. You have to think about whether 2 years alone could have gone up. 1, 3, 5 and then 4, 3, 2, 1. 1, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So could it be 1, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, not possible. We could not have had only 2 years of increase. We should have had 3 years of increase. Between mirror images should have been 3 years of decrease as well. The middle year alone, we don't know, could have gone up higher or lower. And so, very interesting. Initially, we thought 8 years adding up to 21. At least I thought 8 years adding up to 21. And I thought, look, tough, so many combinations are possible. But because there are 8 years and it increases to some point, to like a crescendo, and then comes back after that, and every year is at least 1, I think more can be inferred here. Likewise here, second one, B, is bleeding clear. And so either these 2 years are up and this year is down. This year is definitely up, 12 to 13. 14 to 15 is definitely down. Either up and down, or up, down, down. That's it, no other possibility. If you're thinking about up and down, it can only be 1, 2, 3, 1. Because the last year when it's coming down, it could not have been 4 because the maximum decrease is 1 crore or 2 crores. It is either 1, 2, 3, 1 or 1, 3, 2, 1. One of the two. Done. So we can find the total is only 2 possibilities. Both possibilities are the same total, 7 crores. Done. True. So each of these things, we can make further inferences from there. And so C starts in 1 year, no end year given. Total is 9. It cannot have been just 3 years. 1, 3, 1 is the maximum possible. 1, 3, 1 adds up to 5. Could it have been just 4 years? Would it have been 4 years? It has to be 1, 2, 3, 1 is the maximum. 1, 2, 3, 1 adds up to 6 plus 1, 7, not 9. And so it's at least 5 years. Could it have been 6 years? That's the other thing that we need to think about. Fine. So, but with 9 crores, 5 years, we can go somewhere. There is more to this. We can fill in lots more data here. Okay? Likewise for D and D. Now I'm going to dive a little deeper into A. And initially I thought 21 crores, 8 years, lots of possibilities. Now I'm thinking, hey, maybe not that many possibilities. Now I'm going to say, with 8 years, what is the minimum? What is the maximum? And my gut feel is 21 will be closer to the minimum because my numbers have to keep increasing. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is 10. And then 4, 3, 2, 1 is 10 in 8-year sequence. So we are very close to 21. And so I'm going to think about the minimum possible over 8 years. So make it 1, 2, 3, 4. This side is 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. It cannot be 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. It has to be 5. The smallest combo possible for 8 years. Every increase is either plus 1, every decrease is minus 1. I'm not letting it run away. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 is 15, plus 6 is 21. This is it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. This is the only combination possible. The only variant of this that we can think about is, hey, we can say, hey, nice, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The mirror image, because it can go up. It has to reach a peak, always plus 1 or plus 2. It has to come down, always minus 1 or minus 2. If 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1 works, 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 will also work. Plus 1, plus 2, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Both work. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, adding up to 6 plus 6, 12. The middle 2 years have to be 9. The total is 21. It could be 4, 5 or 5, 4. Only 2 possibilities. This one, 1 dash dash 1, it's either 1, 2, 3, 1 or 1, 3, 2, 1. One of the two. C starts with 1, total adds up to 9. It cannot have been 2 years, it cannot have been 3 years. 3 years, only possibility is 1, 2, 3, 1 or 1, 3, 2, 1, adding up to 7 crores. 5 years, the minimum total over 5 years is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3 is 6, 2 plus 9. The minimum is 9, therefore that's the only possibility. Or this should have been 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. I have to make this very robust. It is 4/5 and 5/4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 5/4, 4/5. 4 or 5, 5 or 4. So 3 things we've got nearly completely. Let's go to D. 1 and 1. The minimum with 5 years is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. That adds up to 9. We want 10. So it's not 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. But if I put 1, 3, it has to go to 1, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 3, 4 is 8, 2, 1 becomes 11. It's not possible. So this cannot be 3, this cannot be 3. So this has to be 1, 2, this has to be 1, 2. No getting away from that. This goes to 3 or this goes to 3, we go beyond 10. So 1, 3, 4, 2, 1 is 11. 1, 2, 4, 2, 1 is 10. So and this is the only possibility for 10. The minimum possible is 9. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. For 10, we have to go 1 higher. If I change this by 1, this should also change by 1 because I'm further increasing. I cannot have 1, 3, 3, 2, 1. That's not possible. No two consecutive years are the same. So I cannot change this or this. I cannot start with 1, 3. I cannot end with 1, 3. If I start with 1, 3, that is 4. If I end with 1, 2 also, that is plus 3, 7. Middle number has to be 3. That's not possible. So it is 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. Right? Now let's go to 13. I want to think about the minimum number of years to hit 13. Can we do 13 with 4 years? With 3 is not possible. With 4 years. 4 years is 1, 2, 3, 1, 7. Nothing else is possible. 5 years. We did 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. We can do 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. What does it add up to? 1, 3, 5, 3, 1. 4, 9, 12, 13. Yeah, that's possible. With 5 years, we can hit 13. With 5 years and 13 is the only possibility because it's all maxed out. Can we do it with 6 years? Can we do it with 7 years? That's what we need to think about. For E, because only the total is given. For C, with only the total being 9, there's only one possibility. We figured that out. But for 13, it does look like there could be more than one possibility. Within 5 years, there's only one possibility. Going to the 6th year, there could be more. But the moment I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking maybe if I go to the 7th year, something possible. I want to eliminate from the other end. With 3 years, 4 years, it's not possible. With 5 years, there's only one possibility. From the other end, 6, 7, if I can be sure that with 7 years, it is not possible at all, then I'm looking only at the 6-year possibility. We'll get there when we get there. So what am I going to do? I'm going to think about 7 years for E. Minimum with 7 years is 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is 10 plus 6, 16. So 7 years, the minimum is 16. Ruled out. Forget about it. So the maximum possible number of years is 6. Minimum is 5. With 5, we've got a possibility. Straight away, it tells me that 5 was maxed out. With 6, there should be something possible. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 and 1. It ends with 1. That much I know. So these 4 numbers add up to 11. And so, suppose hypothetically, I put a 2 here and a 2 here. 3 plus 3 is 6. Remaining 2 numbers add up to 7. We could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1 or 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 possibilities with putting 1, 2 and 1, 2. Now we need to think about, can we do a 1, 3? So make this a 1, 3. This becomes 1, 3. Let that side be a 2, 1. 6 years. 4 plus 3 is 7. The other 2 should add up to 6. This has to be minimum 4. This has to be minimum 3. Not possible. So I cannot start with the 1, 3. I cannot end with the 3, 1. So 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are my only 2 possibilities. I'm going to do a very quick recap. 8 different values. What is the minimum 8-year cycle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. And that adds up to 21. That's the cycle we're thinking about. Only 4 years. 2013 should have seen an increase. 15 should have seen a decrease. 14 could go either way. 1, 2, 3, 1 or 1, 3, 2, 1. Total is 9. Can we reach a total of 9 within 4 years? Not possible. 1, 2, 3, 1 is the only possibility, or 1, 3, 2, 1, adding up to 7. We need at least 5 years. 5 years, the minimum possible. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. That adds up to 9. That's what this is. So this is 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. This is 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. 4/5, 5/4. This is 2/3, 3/2. Adding up to 10. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 adds up to 9. We need to go one better than this. We cannot start with 1, 3 or end with 3, 1. Then it will become 2 more. This has to be 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. This alone, there are 2 categories. 13 with 5 years, 13 with 6 years. Both. So we'll have to dig at both. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 3, 2, 1. 2012 goes up. 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Total is 9. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 is the only possibility. For E, 1, 3, 3, 1 is a possible. 1, 3, 5, 3, 1 is a possibility within 5 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both are possibilities with 6 years. This is possible and this is possible. Lovely. So we've got the framework. Initially I thought there'll be a ton of possibilities. Each question is going to be different, but narrow set of possibilities. Okay. Let's attack the questions. For which firms can the amounts raised by them be concluded with certainty in each year? C, yes. D also yes. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 4, 2, 1. B, there are 2 possibilities. A, there are 2 possibilities. E, there are 3 possibilities. So C and D, D and Drjbna. What can be concluded about the total amount money raised in 2015? 2015, 2, 1, 3, 1 is there for sure. 2, 1, 3, 1, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7. 7 crores are there for sure. E could have been this possibility or this, 0 or 1, 7 or 8 crores. What are the largest possible total amount of money that could have been raised in 2013? 2013, what is there for sure? 1 plus 4 is there for sure. 5. Largest number. So this should have been 5. This should have been 3. This should have been 4. 5 plus 3, 8, 9, 13. 13 plus 4, 17. 17 crore. If Elavalaki raised 3 crores in 2013, 3 crores, okay, so it could have been, this being 3, this being 4, either this or this, both possibilities are, or both are possible. What is the smallest possible total amount of money that could have been raised by all the companies in 2012? In 2012, smallest, we want as small as possible in 2012. So we eliminate this. So this is 4. 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 4, 11, 11 is possible. 4 for this, 1 for this, 2 for this, 0 for this, and 4 for this, not this option, this option. 6 plus 1, 7 plus 4, 11 crores. The total amount of money raised in 2014 is rupees 12 crores. 2014 is 12 crores. So 3 plus 2 plus 2 is 7. 7 is in the bag. This is 3 or 2, this is 1 or 2. We need 5 more crores. Only 3 plus 2 gives us 5. So we should have only this possibility. This should be 2 crores. And this should be 3. This should be 2. Zygo raised the same amount of money as Elavalaki in 2013. 2013, okay, which of the following is not possible? B and E, same amount in 2013. 2 and 3 source 4, that's not possible. This is 4 or 3, that is only 2, not possible. A raised the same amount of money as the D in 2013. A and D could be same, 4 and 4 is possible. A raised the same amount of money as Zygo in 2014. 3 and 3 indeed is definitely true, not even possible, definitely true. Zygo raised more money than Elavalaki in 2014. 2014, 3 and 2, again true. Which of the following is not possible? The first one, this is not possible. I know I've marked a cross here. What I mean by that is not possible. The other 3 are possible. These 2 are definitely true, third one is possible. One of the 3 is possible, the other 2 are always true.